from Padres spring training out in Peoria, Arizona. Good morning, everybody. So good to be here. There's Jay Cronenworth, Gavin Sheath, Bob Scanlon walking in right now. This is unbelievable. Right out of the start. Right out of the chute. Right out of the chute. Man, it's so good to be back in Peoria. I'm filled with anticipation and nerves, the whole thing. I actually feel like I'm about to poop myself. I really am. The bubble gut's going. But
what a start.
What a good start. It's great to be here. I'm Woodsy. Paul Reindel's our executive producer. Good morning, Paulie.
Good morning. Hey, how are you?
Good to see you. Yeah, it's all right. He's at the lag. We're delayed out here. And
totally.
Ben Higgins, your friendly neighborhood sports anchor, joins us as well. Good morning, Benjamin.
Good morning. This is probably my 26th spring training out here.
Yeah.
Our carbon footprint has gotten bigger.
It is.
On our show with all the cameras and everything that we've got set up. But Paulie did an amazing job this morning getting us ready
Paulie,
for 3 straight days.
And
what did you do?
I was here at an hour and a half early with Paulie.
It's true.
And I brought in the big canopy, which we have not used yet. I helped Paulie bring the gear in. Yeah, we were here. You were back at the Airbnb doing whatever it is that you do, but you did something different this morning. You showered before work.
I did.
Why the sudden change?
Because I hadn't showered since 24 hours before we left. So,
that's fair. You didn't shower before dinner?
I did not shower before dinner.
Okay.
I shower once a day. That's usually my MO. This was the best time for it today.
Okay. And, man, we've got so much good stuff to talk about. We got so much good stuff planned. We are, as usual, when we're out here, we're a bit fly by the seat of our pants. Now, we're like that at home in the studio on a regular Tuesday. That's just normally how it is. Out here, it's a little bit different. Meetings are scheduled. They've got meetings that have been moved. So we're just going to be as flexible and as we can while we're out here. But it's so good to be here. The trip out yesterday, we had such a blast. It was really one of the most fun times I've had coming out. And I was thinking about it last night as we were pretty buzzed after dinner. I thought to myself, I don't know that a radio show has as much fun as we do. We really had a good time. We had a good time on the drive out. We had a good time at dinner. We had a good time at Target. After that, we just have a good time, and I'm just very grateful for that because it makes it so much more enjoyable when you get to come out and do stuff like this. But so we left yesterday. We did we had our little stops along the way. Went to Cafe Odessa, and we got some delicious coffees, and then we headed out to a place called Las Palmitas. Correct, Paulie, in El Centro.
Yes, Las Palmitas.
Las Palmitas Taco Shop. Now, Omar has been, I would say, he's been DMing Paulie and me for the last, I'd say at least 3 years, maybe more. Guys, please, if you're coming out this way, stop. Would love to get you guys lunch. We own 2 of these locations. It's on us. Just come out. And we're like, man, we never really stop in El Centro because we
usually have a hard time to get out here to Peoria. We gotta be there before 4:00.
Yep.
Like, we have to get out there. There's traffic as soon as we get into Phoenix. Like, we're not really stopping.
Yeah, and El Centro is just a little bit close to where we usually can stop. But we thought, man, we got Sunday. We have all day. Let's stop, see this tier 1. Ruben Niebla stopped there. You know, he knows those guys really well. So I said, let's do it. So we stopped by. And we walked in. We told Omar we'll be there about 9:30. We actually got there about 9. And we walked in, and I said, there's a good chance, because there's 2 Las Palmitas. I said, there's a good chance either we went to the wrong one or we're just early, and it's fine. We'll just get our breakfast, and Adam can pay for it. And as he rolls his eyes right now, I can already see it. I thought you said it was going to be free. Well, we got there too early, and I'm not going to wait around 30 minutes for
texting this guy.
Hey, Earl, are you here? We'll be in the car. Knock on the window when you're here so we can get our free meals. So we're not going to do that. So we go up, though, and I'm first in line. So I order my breakfast burrito and my drink. And as I reach for my card, Ben says, is Omar here? And I look behind me, and I go, stop, what? And she's like, who? No.
She's trying to finish Woods' order.
She's trying to get my order.
Okay, so just to repeat that back to you, it was this, and this.
Is Omar here? And I go, stop. We'll just pay for it. Like, we make money. What are you doing? So we sit down, we get our food, and then Omar comes. And he's like, what are you guys doing? I would have bought your breakfast. And Ben gives me like this look.
He messaged me like, please tell me you guys didn't pay. I'm like,
yes, we paid.
Are you kidding me?
Yes, we paid. But the panic in your eyes when I reached for my wallet, I could see the wheels churning, which is why Adam loves you more than me, because you would have waited in the car for him to come.
First of all, if he had been like just sitting in the back, like on his computer and not
Waiting?
known we were here, that would have been dumb not to ask. So I thought at the very least, let's ask before Woods pays for his breakfast.
This poor lady, by
I
the
had
way,
no problem paying for it once
screamed at.
we found out that Omar wasn't there. But
this poor lady is
told
Omar
you-
here?
I told
Omar,
you. Why
where's
don't you ask if Omar's here before we order? But you didn't do
'Cause
that.
I
You
didn't-
just jumped right into the order.
I didn't want to look like a cheapskate that was just there to get the free meal.
And
So-
I wasn't even gonna ask for it. I just wanted to see if Omar was there. I was just
just by the by, as Omar
he
here.
wanted to be alerted when we were there. I was just trying to be polite.
So it was great. So we ate that. It was really, really tasty. So I highly recommend it. Stop by Las Palmitas in El Centro. There's 2 locations. There's one right off the freeway.
And now it's not Plugola because we paid.
We paid for
so,
it. We
you
have
know,
the receipts to
we
prove
didn't get
it.
anything free out of it.
So then if you've seen our video on social media, we did decide to recreate Fernando Tatis Jr.
There he is.
Oh, there he is.
There's the man right there. We ran down the dunes.
We did the sand
Yeah, we're on the
dunes.
way over, just like
just
you did.
like you did.
Yeah, not just.
We look the same.
It's just exactly the same.
We look the exact same. We look the exact
Check
same.
your Instagram. I think
Check
we
your
tagged you.
Instagram.
Yeah.
We tagged you in it if you want to see it. How you doing, buddy?
You've never seen 2 more awkward-looking white dudes running down a sand hill. It's unbelievable.
It was
There you
amazing. Oh yeah, Paulie's going to show Nando.
It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
It's the same thing.
embarrassing.
It's the same exact thing. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
All right, good to see you. We'll catch
Thank
up
you,
with
buddy.
you.
Fernando Tatis Jr. Everybody, boy, he actually watched it, and now I'm red right now. So anyway, so we go to the dunes to recreate it, and Paulie goes, "Hey, just so you know, I talked to one of our tier ones. He said, whatever you do not drive even a foot into the sand out there."
It's
And
like
I go,
park off to the side
to
of the
the
road,
side.
but stay on the road. If you go in the sand, you will get
you
stuck.
get stuck. So we park, we do the bit, we run down, we have the time of our lives. We're laughing our asses off. It's so much fun. And I go to turn around to make a loop, and I get in the sand. And I mean,
saw you were doing that. I was going,
I am 1 foot, 1 tire in the sand, and I am stuck. I am stuck. I jam it in reverse and was like, and I barely get it out. I mean, barely. I go, Paulie, what would we have done? He goes, what did you think?
There was a good 1.5 seconds where I thought, we're
stuck.
screwed.
We're stuck.
Like, you were not moving, and we just heard those tires go.
So he was okay. So then there's some advice. If you guys go out there, do not, unless you are equipped to do it, don't do it. So then we get all the way to Peoria. We come in here, we grab our credentials and our parking pass, and when we head back to the Airbnb is fantastic. It's lovely. You'll get a look at that probably later this afternoon, this evening. It's really, really great. Paulie did a great job finding it. Thank you, Odyssey, for coming through with that. It's incredible. Just so comfortable. Ben got the big room. You did take the big, large room. Yep. And
mostly because it's got a really nice bathroom.
the bathroom
with a big closet.
Bathroom is bigger than most of the bedrooms.
I know.
Paulie and I are jammed. We are literally jammed into the tiniest bathroom. It's like a cruise ship's bathroom.
Yes.
So we're in there together. It's fine. We're easy. Got to let the big guy do his thing. So we got a couple hours to chill. Now, we had a very hot dinner date last night scheduled. We're going to have dinner with our beloved manager of the Texas Rangers, Skip Schumacher, and his buddy, Nick Punto, who is a Padres infield coordinator, coach. Yeah. And we were all going to go to dinner at this Italian restaurant. Skip gave us the time. Meet us here. We'll do it. And we're so excited to see Skip and talk some baseball and meet Nick Punto for the first time too. So I get the text. He goes, "Hey, dinner's off. My wife's flown in and surprised me. So I'm going to be spending my evening with her instead of you guys."
Understandable.
And I said, "Okay, no problem." He goes, "But keep the reservation. It's still there, and it's a phenomenal place." So we go, and I'm like, "Bro, do you realize I have to walk in and be like, 'Hi, reservation for Skip Schumacher, please'?"
Your Skip Schumacher.
Yes, I am. The manager of the Texas Rangers. Yes, I am. And she looked at me. I go,
Abe Froman, please.
I go, "We have a reservation for 5, but only 3 are coming." She goes, "What's it under?" I go, Schumacher. She looked at me. She goes, "Skip?" And I go, "Yes, indeed."
Skip.
So we sat down. We crushed a bottle of wine.
You're the 2023 manager of the year.
Yeah, you're the 2023 manager of the
Okay.
year. All right, looks good. So we crushed a bottle of wine. We went to Target. The food was phenomenal, by the way.
Oh, so good.
Phenomenal.
Place.
Really
I've been
good
there
place.
a couple of times.
What's it called?
It's called Fabio on Fire. And
Fabio on Fire.
Probably one of the best.
Manny, good
There's the
morning,
captain.
sir.
What's up, brother? How you doing?
Manny,
See
good
you.
to see
Favorite
you.
part of the year. How you doing, buddy?
Yeah,
Good to see you. Yeah, doing good.
Ready to roll, baby.
All right, there he goes. It's crazy. Everyone's rolling in.
Love it.
And then so we go to Target. We got to get some supplies, and we get some waters and things like that, and just head back to the Airbnb. And it was really nice, and hit the sack early, nice and early. Didn't really sleep all that well, but wanted to get out here and get ready for the day. It should be pretty nuts.
I learned
get a
this
bunch of-
morning, though, there's no lock on my bedroom door.
No, because I
Oh.
walked right in. I
Right.
had now we got some Meta glasses. Paulie got them out of the show fund, and we bought some Meta glasses, and I've been experimenting with them, and they're very fun. So I wanted to walk in this morning and see if Homeboy really did sleep on top of the covers, like he tells everybody that he does. So I crept into his room. Now, weighing the risk, he could be in the throes of pleasure
be in a
right now. He literally
compromised
could be in a
position.
compromised position.
5 a.m., 4 a.m. San Diego time.
Sure.
Unlikely, but okay.
I crept back there and I opened the door, and there he was on top of his bed looking at his phone, probably like
I'd woken up about 2 minutes before that.
the Mountain West website, if I'm being honest, the Mountain West app. And he's laying on top of his covers. And you really do sleep on top of your covers like an alien. Paulie and I had the idea that maybe you are, in fact, just a robot, and the bed is like your charging pad. So you lay your phone on those charging pads. You just lay on top of it like a charging pad.
The temperature in the Airbnb was very
It's
comfortable.
perfect.
Needed no extra covering to be perfectly warm and fine at night. So on top of the covers, it was.
It's incredibly weird to me. I'm sorry. It's so strange.
It's so
I
odd,
can't
man.
even wrap my head around doing that. Like my bed, when I got out of bed this morning, it looked like I started on one side of my blanket and started doing barrel rolls.
Yeah,
like
it's all twisted up. I know.
Oh my gosh.
I know, man. No, we had such a good time last night. Something embarrassing did happen, and I hope my wife's not listening because I did tell her I would take a break. We went to Target, and Paulie and I were looking around. I hear Paulie exclaim, I'm just looking for some healthy-ish snacks, some waters, and I hear Paulie go, "Ooh, baseball cards." And I go, "Damn it."
No, it was more like we were walking down the aisle and I went, crap.
Yeah.
It was more like you guys made a
Oh.
beeline right for the aisle where the baseball cards
No,
were. if
we were
I'm
going
being
to
honest.
electronics
Yeah.
to get my $30 USB cable, which is absurd. And we were walking by, and I looked over to my right and went, hang on.
Hang on. So we bought some hangers. We got some packs of cards, and I told my wife, again, I just got into the
Hangers being the smaller packs
Yeah.
that they hang on hooks as opposed to the big boxes.
correct.
Got it.
And I told my wife the revulsion that she sees in me when she looks at me when I'm in there messing around with cards. It's so palpable. Like you look at her and you're like, "Oh, you're revolted right now. You're revolted." And she's like, yeah, it's revolting. And I'm like, okay, well, I figure I'm in Arizona. Paulie and I, we're going to go back to Airbnb. We'll rip some cards. So we take our little pile up to the front, and the lady goes, and there's a huge line
It is
behind
busy,
us. There's
yeah.
a huge line behind us.
I was pouring sweat.
Sunday
And
night
this-
at Target in Glendale
Yep.
is a busy time.
This
apparently.
this lady says, she goes, you guys have bought too much. You have to do separate transactions. We have a limit.
You've hit the daily limit.
It's so embarrassing, dude.
You've hit the legal limit in
The legal limit,
Arizona
yeah.
for baseball cards in one purchase.
Yeah, you can buy like 4 at a time, and we each had like 5. She's like, "Would you like to do a separate transaction?" I go, "No, just put it back. It's fine." But then the
It
irony,
was mortifying.
the irony struck me that we are, spending the last 8 years making fun of Ben for being a nerd, and then there's Ben at Target looking at the people behind. Go, "Sorry about these absolute dorks here. We're gonna get out of your hair really soon." And there's Paulie and I home ripping our cards like, Save some for the rest of us, guys. Paul, I'm so embarrassed. And
Did you get any good ones
yeah,
in the past?
Yeah,
Okay,
I did. I won't bore you guys with the details, but I did. It's really embarrassing, and I'm embarrassed by it. But it is what it is at this point. Now it's funny because you're out here and you're seeing these stars walk by, and you're like, "Yep, I've got a refractor of you. I've got your rookie that I need to get graded. And you just turn into a big nerd. It's.
I mean, Tatis was right here. I could have had him sign my Topps card that I got yesterday.
Nope. Would have gotten killed. But no, man, it's so good being out here. So run down a little bit, Benny, of what we're expecting.
Well, I can tell you with fairly high degree of certainty, since it was just confirmed by Darren Feeney with the Padres, Gavin Sheets and Mason Miller are both going to join us in our next segment here at the bottom of the hour.
Go.
So
at the same time,
Gavin Sheets at 6:30, and then Mason Miller at 6:45. So we'll get a couple of quick interviews before I believe the players are going in for their union meeting.
Big one.
Big secret
That's
meeting.
A big one, yeah.
Big one. Good morning.
We just saw, of course, the
Nicky
one
P
of the
just walked by.
executive members, and he's actually the team rep.
Okay.
And then Jay Cronenworth's one of the executive board members among the players. So they'll probably be addressing the rest of the team and talking about what's been going on with the changeover to Bruce Meyer, the new executive director, after Tony Clark stepped down. So they've got some personal player business. No front office allowed. No coaches, just the players in there for that meeting.
Can we go in there for that?
No, we cannot go in there for that. So we'll get a couple of interviews early, and then later on we may get some more players. We're also going to get some coaches stopping by, including Craig Stammen and the new hitting coach for the San Diego Padres, Strven Souza Jr. Going to be by later in the show today. Of course, we're here for the 3 days, so we're going to try to get as many interviews as possible through Wednesday morning when we're broadcasting live.
Yeah, no doubt. And again, we just need to be really flexible while we're out here. The sun is coming out right now. If you're watching on the YouTube feed, you can see it. It should be a perfect day. I mean, a perfect day out here. We did see a little bit of the scene yesterday when we pulled in when the Dodgers were in town. I did see a grown man in a full sombrero, all Dodgers colors, shooting a video in front of the Padres front office is there. Now, I found the video on Instagram.
You did?
Yeah,
really? I was wondering.
Yeah, he was complaining that the facility was closed, and he said this is what little brother does. The Dodgers are here, and little brother won't let all the Dodgers in here, right? And then I realized, well, it's family day. It was family day yesterday. They had some big stuff set out on the backfields for the kids to run around and play.
Big inflatables.
Yeah, big inflatables. Yeah. It didn't really have anything to do with the fact that the Dodgers are here. All the players had their wives and their families and everything in. So, not everything is about you guys. Enjoy your last two World Series championships, and no need to shoot content right out in front of here. You're good. You're good. So it was kind of fun to see an influencer in the wild, as we talked about last week here on the program. But yeah, sun's coming out. It's getting pretty bright, and it's just a beautiful day out here in Peoria.
You did a nice job of recapping our entire trip over here. I think the only thing you missed was when we were at Cafe Adesso early in the morning. Mm-hmm. All of us huddled around my phone watching overtime of the USA-Canada hockey game at the Olympics, the gold medal game, the golden goal by Jack Hughes. We were actually standing there in line
together at
Cafe Adesso watching that at the end, which is a pretty amazing moment. I know a lot of people got up early to watch it here, even in San Diego, where it started at 5 a.m. It was pretty exciting, and that was kind of fun to be able to watch that with you guys just in a very random location out in Alpine.
Honestly, yesterday was such a whirlwind of a day that until hearing you talking about it just now, it didn't really settle in with me, like the importance, the gravity of the moment. I mean, 46 years since their last gold medal, and we still hear stories about that one.
Of course.
I understand these are different times, different circumstances, and different teams and all of that, but that's a huge deal. Like, that was awesome that they were able to pull that off.
And I don't know how much of the game you watched before that. I got up early. The kid, Jack Hughes, who scored the game-winning goal, he got a tooth knocked out on a high stick in the third period. His face was all bloody. They got a double minor penalty to Canada, but we weren't able to score, so it ended up going to overtime, and he comes back with his face all messed up and scores just less than 2 minutes into overtime to win it. They had honored the Goudreau family and had his kids.
Man,
it was
incredible.
The brothers who died in the DUI accident from the driver, and they had his kids out there. It was their youngest kid, Jack Jr.'s second birthday, which was amazing. It's just one of the really incredible stories that you can only get from the Olympics, and it was fun to watch it. Now it's all over.
It's over.
The Olympics are done. They had the closing ceremonies last night, so
You sure
it's done.
There's
nothing left.
It's done. No.
It's done and over.
Something tells me if I put the TV on it, I will see curling of some sort on my television, because that's all that's been on my television.
You won't see
for
it
the
again
last
for
6
4
weeks.
more years.
Even though the Olympics are over, he'll still find a way.
They'll be curling.
Will just be on.
They'll be curling. All right, let's take a break. Let's get set and get ready. And
let's say hi
glad
to
you guys
Kyle
are here.
back in our studio as well.
Hi,
who's
Kyle.
running the board.
We did already.
Oh, we
when
did?
opened,
Okay.
Yeah.
Then we're good to go. All right,
Yeah.
we will come back.
He's good.
And Gavin Sheets and Mason Miller are both scheduled to join us here in our next half hour. So do not go anywhere. It is Ben and Woods. We are live from our Bill House studios, remotely in Peoria, Arizona. We know how. Padres Spring Training 2026 on San Diego's #1 sports station.
Is Omar here?
He just here. I'll show you a little. Just
Please
Just a
don't.
little bit. What hurts on you?
Nothing at all.
A little bit.
Not that now.
So let's say
whatever you're about to touch is the only thing.
Let's say
It's gonna hurt.
Right?
All right, yeah.
Okay.
Pretend your knee hurts.
Pretend your knee
It's going to in a second.
right here.
Oh, that is not pleasant.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Welcome back. Ben Woods live from PADRES Spring Training in Peoria, Arizona. And we will get a lot of guests over the next 3 days on our SDCCU fan hotline. It's not Big Bank Banking, it's better, but only one gets the honor of being our first guest of the spring. And it was a year ago we were here. And I think our first guest had just shown up as a non-roster invitee to camp. Turned out to be a pretty important member of the 2025 San Diego Padres. Welcome, Gavin Sheets, here to Ben & Woods on 97.3 The Fan. Gavin, it's great to have you on.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you guys having me on.
How's it been out here so far?
Oh, it's been great. Getting back with the guys. I mean, such a fun clubhouse we have, and Craig at the helm now has been a lot of fun. So, just spring's been a lot of fun. It's been good to be out here and get back with everybody and spend some time before the WBC gets going.
You know, I should have looked this up. I didn't. Did you ever face him?
I did not.
No, never
he was
did.
in the National League when I was in Chicago for the first couple of years, and we weren't doing the full interleague play yet.
Got it.
we missed each other.
I mean, he looks like he could still. Has he got out and thrown BP at all?
He hasn't yet, but he could definitely still get out there and do it. There's no doubt.
He looks like he can, man. We were everyone was so optimistic last year when you got here and said, all right, let's see what you got. You had such a great year and became an integral part of the team. How for you last year showing up, new team, non-roster invite, like that's a different world from how you grew up, being one of the best and a big prospect and all that. What was that like for you?
Yeah, it was different. Coming into camp was completely new. It was the first time I've been to a new organization, and all I can say is just how welcome they made me feel right away. Obviously it helped having a couple years in the big leagues already, but just being brought into this clubhouse and feeling welcome right away, and that makes a huge difference of what you can do on the field. And obviously I wanted to come somewhere where where winning was the most important thing, and I saw the year they had before that, and I wanted to be just a little piece of that. If I could just bring something to the table that could help us take the next step, and just what an awesome fit.
How nice was it to get that first home run out of the way on opening day last year? Just feel comfortable with a new team?
Oh, gosh, it couldn't have been any better. I mean, that was just to come out and see that crowd. I've always loved going to Petco Park. That was as an away player, and just the energy that was there every single night, and coming out on opening day and being a part of that and being on the home side was pretty special. So to knock that home run out, that was quite the day.
Padres fans we're joined by with Gavin Sheets here this morning, and they're notoriously, at least me and kind of the crew that I'm with, pretty petty. And we remember a lot. If you get slighted, you keep it. And there was a guy on White Sox Twitter that was like, oh, it was opening day, and he's like, oh, poor Padres fans are they're gonna buy in, and we made sure to retweet him after every single big game that Gavin Sheets had, and we retweeted him a lot last year, just so you know, you were really embraced. Now you come into camp this year, and they're like, hey man, you're gonna DH, you're gonna play some first base, but they bring in a bunch of other first basemen. What's that like for you?
Yeah, I think that's what happens when you're a part of a team trying to win a World Series. Yep. You're going to be surrounded by really, really good players, and what I told Craig and AJ the other day was that even if those guys aren't in camp, I know that they're always around. I know that the way AJ works, he's always trying to get the best guys out here. So
yep.
It doesn't even matter if they're in camp or not. He's always trying to make this team really good. And, that's the fun part of being on a good team is you always have a competition, whether they're here or somewhere else. And, that's what I love as a player is he's always trying to make this team better. And so if we can take that next step, if one of these guys, Nick or Ty, or one of these guys takes us to the next step and helps our team, then I'm all for it.
Talking to Gavin Sheets here on 97.3 The Fan. How different is this year's camp under Craig Stammen after last year, obviously, under Mike Shilton? It's unusual for a team after a couple of successful seasons to end up changing managers. We know, Mike stepping away. What are kind of the similarities and differences with Stammen as manager?
Yeah, I think there's still a lot of similarities. I mean, at the end of the day, our core is still here in terms of players, and we're fortunate enough to have a team that's a bunch of veteran guys that know how to get ready for a season. And so I think Craig just kind of came in and kept a really good structure, and he's given us just plenty of time to work here, plenty of time to get individual work, and trust us to know how to get ready for a season. And obviously Craig just retiring in 22 or 23, he knows how hard this game is. He's got the respect of everybody in that room, and I've really enjoyed being around him and the energy he's brought this year. But at the end of the day, we still have a great core here that knows how to get ready.
And for you, I wanted to talk about one of my favorite subjects, and that's fatherhood. You became a father for the first time last season. That's tough, right? Middle of the season, you feel like you want to be there. It's hard to be there all the time. And your daughter's 7 months old
7
now?
months, yeah.
Saw a beautiful picture of her out here at Family Day yesterday. That's a cool thing that you guys do. What was what's been the biggest challenge as a dad so far?
Oh man.
The diapers are it's easy. It's a piece of cake.
Yeah, I definitely, we had her the day before All-Star break. We had those three or 4 days off, and then we went on a 10-day road stand.
Brutal.
That was hard. Leaving my four-day-old daughter at home for 10 days, and my wife, and luckily my mother-in-law came out and was a huge help. But yeah, that was tough. That was welcome to fatherhood right away. Leave for 10 days, and thank God for FaceTime and stuff like that to be able to talk to him. But getting the whole off season with her and being a full-time dad was awesome. And, she's at the stage now where there's more and more personality, but
a lot of fun.
It is a pretty cool perspective you have now on the game and what you can bring to it and the important things in life as well. And, getting done a game and you get to come in the tunnel and hold her is pretty special. So
0 for 4 doesn't really matter very much.
She has no idea.
She doesn't care.
And if I'm 4 for 4, 0 for 4, it doesn't really affect her. But, so that's been pretty cool to see just how that's changed things and the important things in life. And but it is fun to have her going through this with me and being a part of this and making memories like family day yesterday on the field. So that's really special.
It's awesome.
Wanted to ask you about one of your new teammates in particular, Nick Castellanos, who has played a little bit of first base and, trying to learn the position for the first time. He actually walked in really early this morning. Yeah. We were kind of nervous. I mean, we've heard a lot of good things.
He's got a presence for sure.
Some reason he just makes us a little nervous. I don't know. Tell us. I mean, we may get to interview him later. Is there anything we need to know? Like, just how's it going so far?
No, he's been great. That's pretty funny because I felt the same way the first day. I was like, hey, Nick, how you doing? And what an awesome guy. I mean, obviously what he's done in this game is pretty special. And, whatever happened last year and the fallout there, I think that, the team that benefited from the most is us.
100%.
We got him on minimum salary, and Phillies are picking up his whole salary.
Yeah.
You look at a guy that 270 career hitter with 200 and some homers. So I mean, this guy knows the ways around the league. He knows how to hit. Does a ton of damage against lefties as well. So I think it was a steal for us.
I know it's just spring training, but the first day he makes a couple of great plays, dive, makes that throw from first. I mean, that's one of the toughest things. He's played infield before, so he knows how to pick a ball, but that throw from first to the pitcher running to cover has got to be one of the toughest things to adapt to as a first baseman.
He's done great. I mean, him and I have been working a ton on the backfields and just getting reacclimated to first base, and we're enjoying it together and kind of working each other out with that. And he did great there the first day to get that under the tires and knock that out. So I thought he looked good over there.
How's the swing feeling? Everything feeling good?
Yeah, everything feels good. It's nice getting some games under the belt right now and getting your timing back a little bit to 98 and 99 and getting, seeing that again, which is always fun. You don't.
Well, we watched you face Mason Miller the other day, and I'm like, good God, man. It's like day one out here. Like, that's not fair.
That's what's wrong with this stuff nowadays, right? I go in there, my first at bat, I have a nice walk, right?
Yeah.
You think that's shown? No. No. I look up, and all I see is me getting blown away. And I get 2 at bats, and one's a walk and one's a strikeout. But all you see, you can't have the closer showing a walk on social media,
God,
right?
No. I mean, it's just not. It's like the worst assignment of all time.
Sam Levitt's our colleague, who you see him every day, and he posts a lot of videos, and he says, I feel bad, especially early in camp when we'll show, here's Mason Miller striking out Manny Machado. Here's Mason Miller. I know they sometimes make contact as well, but I post a video and all of of a sudden
somebody's got to look bad.
Somebody's got to look bad.
Yeah. Here's 102. Go get them. All right, there you go.
Yeah. All right.
Speaking of looking bad, you're kind of working at first base again after going to the outfield. I know you'll play anywhere. You've said it that they need, but they're wearing the T-shirts of you running Jackson's shirt running into the fence last year.
He's an idiot. He's but it's okay because everything comes around, and I know he's been wearing the shirt, and I heard that we got 30 of them made back at Petco, so what comes around goes around. So he better be careful.
And by the way, after that play, you acquitted yourself pretty darn well out there in left field last season. I mean, you could see how much better you were getting by the end of the year.
Yeah, made a lot of good strides out there and got a lot of more comfortable, and it was fun learning out there and getting acclimated out there, but definitely happy to be back at first base.
100%. So much less running, too.
I tell Jackson, look, I tried to kill myself for this team. I haven't seen you do anything like that.
That's fair. That's absolutely fair.
It's a long run. It's a long run. Too. First base is right next to the dugout. It's awesome.
One step and a hop.
That's great. Man, thanks so much for coming by. What a great way to get started for us this morning. Gavin Sheets,
awesome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, man. Gavin Sheets, that was a great first interview. I believe Mason Miller is going to be stopping by in just a moment. So we will come back after a check of traffic. Not going anywhere. Don't leave us. It's Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. fantastic way to get things started. You know, we didn't get a chance to talk to Gavin Sheets last year because we had just arrived. He had just gotten here. But what a terrific guy. What a great attitude. And, you know, I'm glad he's back on this team and going to be playing again this year for the San Diego Padres.
Oh, man. Yes, I'm
All right. I
Thank
thought you were
there
on.
we go. No,
Sorry.
you control my microphone.
I
Don't
thought it was
forget.
on. I
You
can't see
control
because of the light.
Mason Miller's microphone as well. Joined by the Padres closer, number 22, Mason Miller. Welcome to Ben and Woods. Good to have you.
Mason, it's good to see you.
I haven't, I wear number 22 at fantasy camp out here. I haven't disclosed the terms of what we worked out on the side for me to give up my number, but it was. I'll tell you guys right now, it wasn't. It was no small feat, and it's good to see you again.
Yeah, we're
glad,
generous.
I'm glad we got that worked out.
Yeah.
Padres closer Mason Miller joins us. How are you, man?
I'm doing great.
Feeling good?
Enjoying the sunshine
Yeah.
out here in the desert, getting to work. Having a good time.
First full spring training with the San Diego Padres,
Yep.
and we've got you here for a few years, and that makes us all so very happy to see you coming out of the bullpen, dude.
Yeah, me too.
It's been amazing. What's the experience been like so far?
Hey, I mean, it's baseball, you know. We all speak that language, so just getting to hear you having a full season with the guys, it's awesome, you know. And I'm really trying to appreciate this time that I do have, since I'll be headed out here in a couple days now. But knowing that I wouldn't have the full camp, you know, I've really been intentional and making this time count.
Sure.
I know you came over at the trade deadline and you get acclimated to a new team, but does it sometimes require a spring training before you totally feel like, okay, now I'm definitely a San Diego Padre?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, spring training is a different facility, different area in Phoenix. So just getting the lay of the land. And yeah, a 2-month sprint last year compared to, hey, this is where we're starting this year. This is where we want to go here for the whole journey. Yeah, it's a different feeling for sure.
Well, I could see, the playoffs really, the playoff nerves really got to you last year. As I don't think anybody even touched I don't even think anybody fouled one off of you last year. If I remember correctly, that was pretty amazing what you were able to accomplish in the playoffs last year. I know we didn't get as far as we wanted, but for you, man, getting that under your belt, that was pretty special.
It was such an enjoyable experience, and unfortunately, we didn't come out on the right side of it. But you know, I think that's great for guys like myself, and I know there was other guys in that locker room too, that you get that taste of postseason baseball. We got guys that have gone, you know, the whole way through it, have won it. So just meshing those two places that we're coming from, and to get to this common goal of, you know, getting to the postseason and having success there.
Yeah, we talked to Matt Strom when he was here, and then he went to Philly, and he was texting Paulie and I, and he goes, that was like a drug, man, being out there, and the place was just insane. He goes, I got to get back, and I got to get back every year. For you, is that a pretty accurate statement?
Definitely. I mean, we're spoiled in the season that we have such awesome fans that show up day in and day out. So, you know, I think every day feels like a playoff atmosphere at Petco. But yeah, the stakes are higher. You know, you wake up in the morning and you know what's coming. You know, so I'm itching to get back. Definitely. Talking
to Mason Miller here on 97.3 The Fan, and I think it was day one of spring training. Craig Stammen said, "Yeah, Mason's going to be our closer," and I think we all kind of said, "Duh," you know, throws 104, and as good as he is, he's done it before with the A's. But there's a lot of good relievers on this team as well. Just talk about kind of taking on that responsibility at the back of a pen that's considered to be one of the best, if not the best, in baseball.
Man, it's an honor, and you know, I don't take it lightly. You know, you look at the lineage of guys that have come through here. I think it's a testament to, you know, the organization and the people here too. That, you know, identifying, you know, however they get here, they do, and the success that they have has been, you know, well documented, well drawn out. So. You know, I'm just hopeful to be able to keep continuing to get that chance. And, you know, I know that I've put in the work to prepare myself to be there, and I'm just excited to get to those moments this year.
What's it like having a reliever as a manager?
We'll find out. It's been great so far. It's been great so far. He has a special gift of uniting people. And I think AJ and others saw that as well, which has resulted in him landing where he has.
Yeah.
You know, spring training is everybody's going different ways. We're on 6 different fields. So as we continue to get closer to opening day, and you know, you see that group start to really come into shape, you know, about who's going to be at Petco for opening night. You know, I think we'll continue to have those conversations, have those team meetings, and you know, really grow tight, because that's something we're really proud of. Is you know, the closeness of this team, regardless of position, regardless of who you are, where you come from. You know, it's just, how can you help the San Diego Padres win games?
I love that, man. And now you get to go pitch in the WBC. Obviously, everybody in San Diego, we're, you know, praying for your health and safety and things like that. Obviously, you're going to have to amp it up a little bit. But like you said, you've been intentional since you got here in the offseason as well. But, man, you're going to be in a locker room with some of just the absolute bests. I mean, just some of the greatest guys. Will you take that chance while you're there to pick guys' brains, like the Paul Skeens of the world? I mean, the people like that, sit down, chat with them about the art of pitching.
I mean, there's Hall of Famers that'll be in that locker room.
No doubt.
So I'm just, like I said, really honored. Everything in this game is such a blessing and such a gift. And, I'm fortunate to have had the success that I've had to this point, to be in the situation where I'm able to go and do things like that, at age 27, and, an opportunity that, a lot of guys with Team USA, it's, I want to play. And they're like, sorry, we're full. A lot of other teams, it's like, do you want to play? You say yes, and you're going.
Yeah.
So, I think that's really something I'm looking forward to. And, it's going to be a 2 weeks worth of being around the best of the best. And everybody's going to learn something. Everybody's going to come in there and then, play as a team. It's really, that's why we're all going. It's not for self. It's for the country. So I'm getting so excited for the experience and cannot wait.
Now, you guys might have the opportunity to punch out some of your teammates too, which is always a good thing, like on the big stage as well.
Yeah. As opposed to just on the backfield.
It's just opposed on the backfield.
Which, we've seen a bunch of that already in spring training as well. They aren't happy about how fast he's been throwing so early in camp. I mean, the hitters are kind of ticked off about it, honestly.
I was talking about this to somebody yesterday. It's like, I don't understand how we're supposed to compete without being at 100%.
100%.
It's like, I'm coming into camp. I'm ready to go. I'm excited. We put in the work. We get cleats in the dirt, and it's go time.
Speaking of Hall of Famers, you mentioned the lineage of closers here. I saw Trevor has been here in camp. I know you met him last year, but having him here at spring training, what do you two guys talk about? I mean, I know you have a changeup in your repertoire, kind of as your third pitch. He's known for a pretty good one. I know you talked to him about that at all and pick his brain.
I need to talk to him more about the changeup.
I mean, he's tried to teach other people. It's hard.
Fruit, but you don't. That's such a gift too. So he's gonna say, just do this, and
just do it like this.
Isn't he great though? I mean, we love Trevor so
phenomenal.
much.
I mean, it's really an honor and really awesome to, for every guy in this locker room to have a guy like that around, that's successful, that's happy to be here. He shows up and there's a smile on his face, and he's just ecstatic to be around the fields, be around the guys, and just hang out with us. And I don't think everybody truly realizes how special that is.
100%, man. Mason Miller joins us. And speaking of low-hanging fruit, I know you're changing your entrance song this year, right? And you haven't made it public yet, right? No. Is it going to be a surprise?
Yeah.
Are you still digging?
We're still finalizing.
Are you workshopping things?
Yeah, we're trying some things out.
You got some ideas?
I've got ideas.
I'll take some suggestions.
Really?
He's a music.
This is all
this guy's
a
music guy.
This is all I want.
He's got some. This is a dream come true.
Now, Ben, it was a Nickelback. Now, I'm not a big Nickelback fan. Ben is actually a big Nickelback fan.
I like a Nickelback song.
That song actually worked, but it didn't feel right. You need your new one for San Diego.
It does, yeah.
And I got some really good ideas.
Really?
I do.
Oh,
I got some really good ideas. Yeah.
Right.
I'm not going to tell. No, I'll do it off the air.
Talk about it. All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
It's a 22 thing.
It's our. We have a whole thing together, Mason and I. But no, man, it's going to be fun watching you walk out. Hopefully, day one against the Detroit Tigers, and let's beat Tarek Skubal and come out and get the save, man. But we're, obviously, I know you're expecting a big season from yourself. We're expecting big things from you. We certainly appreciate you stopping by this morning and get your work in. Have fun today, man.
Right. Thanks, Phil.
Appreciate it. Mason Miller.
Mason, that was fantastic.
Thanks,
Good luck
guys.
this season. Mason Miller with us on our SDCCU fan hotline. Really incredible stuff. We got a couple of minutes before the top of the hour. I know Mason's got a meeting to get into, so we'll let him get going right now. But, what a great start with Gavin Sheets and Mason Miller.
Yeah.
In the first our first full segment here in Peoria, Arizona.
He's a big dude, man. Holy
yeah,
cow.
Between Gavin Sheets and Mason Miller getting started, there was a couple of big boys in that chair.
No kidding.
I really like the song Gasoline by Audio Slave for him. That would be a really, really good one. Because that's really what he throws, and it's got a lot of energy. I got some ideas, but his nickname's the Reaper. But you can't have Don't Fear the Reaper because you want them to fear. Yes.
I love that song, but
of course you do. But you can't do that because.
But the Reaper wins in the end of that song anyway.
He does.
Even if you don't fear him, he still wins.
The Reaper always wins. But,
yeah.
The thing is you just can't have a song that Don't Fear the Reaper. I'm the Reaper. You can't have that. So if there was a song just called Fear the Reaper or the Reaper, then you could do it. You could do it. But man, what an impressive dude. Again, he talks about the WBC, and I'm like, oh yeah, like you're going to be out there with some of the best on the planet. The U.S. team looks pretty nasty, man, and you just, no 4-out saves or anything like that. Just keep it chill for us.
And they do have pitch limits.
No, of
and,
course they do.
They're keeping an eye on that. They're not going to let things get out of hand. And I think everyone always forgets you can just as easily get hurt in a spring training game on a backfield.
Yep, of course.
I mean, I get that maybe the intensity is a little higher.
The intensity is higher.
It's not necessarily the worst thing. Sometimes getting hurt is a matter of not being as intense and as locked in a spring training game.
Yep.
So, yes, I know it happened to Edwin Diaz the last time.
Wasn't that a celebration thing, though?
Yes.
Wasn't he celebrating?
That was a fluke. That was a complete fluke.
Yep.
So
knock on wood, everybody comes back healthy and ready to jam this year. And but no, it's kind of the risk you run. But when you look in his eyes and when he starts talking about the WBC and how much it means to him and playing for Team USA, that's when it makes sense in my head. It resonates that this is important. And they don't ask just anybody to do this. As he said, there's guys like, hey, I'd love to play. They're like, sorry, pal, not calling your number. But if it's team, no offense, but like team Italy or something, they're like, hey, are you interested? Yeah, I'll come. And then you play. But I thought that was great, man. What a phenomenal dude to have on this squad at the back of the bullpen to close games for us.
Yeah, we didn't really talk about the talk about potentially starting. That had been addressed
many
earlier
times
in the off season. But now that we've gotten to this point, it almost would seem silly for him to be a starting pitcher when you've got such a valuable weapon at the back end of the bullpen. So totally understand where the Padres were thinking, what they were going for here.
It will be interesting to see, as will everything. Like I asked him, what's it like having a reliever as a manager? He goes, I guess we'll see. It will be interesting. The moves, the decisions, you get the best part of their order coming up in the 8th. Will they go to Mason Miller there? There's just the possibilities really with the bullpen that they have. They're pretty limitless, man. You can do a lot.
I would be worried if Mason Miller was like your only great reliever, because then you'd be tempted to use him. Because then you want to use him all the time. But when you have so many other guys that are so good in Morejon and Stammen, or Morejon and Adam and Estrada,
Morgan,
you can really use them in so many different ways. All right, we're going to take a timeout. Players have gone into the clubhouse, but let's talk about some of the early impressions from the first weekend of Cactus League games. Saw a bunch of things Friday, Saturday, and Sunday out here in Arizona. We'll get to that next, live from Padres Spring Training. Ben and Woods on The Fan. 2, Ben and Woods, live from Padres spring training in Peoria, Arizona. It really could not be a more beautiful morning here in the Arizona desert. It is ideal. Conditions should be this way for the next couple of days, knock on wood, so that's nice. Players have gone inside for their Players Association meeting, but we will be talking with more as the week goes on. We'll also be going to be meeting with Craig Stammen, some of the coaching staff as well. But it's usually hair on fire, and the schedule gets all kind of thrown out of whack while we're at spring training. So you just have to bear with us. We will have some of our regular features, like Don't Do This, but we may push, like Take on Woods doesn't really work so well from out here. So we're going to still qualify some people. We've got some Guns N' Roses tickets to give away, so you can stay tuned for your opportunity to win. But wanted to take a moment, just because this was the first weekend of spring training games. Last time we were on the air Friday morning, they had not played any Cactus League games. Now the Padres have played 3 Cactus League games. Well, the results don't matter. You're always watching for individual efforts and performances. On Friday, I mentioned it when Gavin Sheets was on. Nick Castellanos made his Padres debut in the spring, playing first base and acquitting himself more than well. I mean, he made actually some spectacular plays over there. Now, it's one game, but certainly didn't look like the position was going to be too much for him to adjust to if that is indeed where the Padres want to play him.
Yeah, I mean, a nice dive to his right, backhand, tough play, gets up, and the perfect strike to the pitcher. I mean, again, it's we're out at spring training, but you know, you like to see somebody looking at least semi-comfortable out there. And if he, could figure that out even halfway decent, that's again, for league minimum, man, that's a steal. So comes in, hits some left-handed pitchers. Gavin plays first base and hits some right-handed pitchers, and now you're cooking a little bit. So also the big name out here, I mean, it's in the first 3 games, Jose Miranda has been incredible since he got here.
6 RBI in two games. 2-run home run, 4 RBIs in the second game, and the win over the Royals and surprise on Saturday. It's going to be tough to break the 26-man roster to start camp, but certainly getting off to a good start and making a good impression. And this was a guy who was one of the top prospects in the Twins organization for a time being. Was one of the Rookie of the Year candidates a few years ago, and then, as sometimes happens, the big leagues catches up to you and could not repeat those numbers and started to slide a little bit to the point where the Twins didn't have him in their plans anymore, and the Padres took a flyer on him as a non-roster invitation signing this spring, and he's gotten off to a good start.
Yeah, it was really nice, man. Friday, went to pick up kids from school, had the game on, as I was waiting in the parking lot, and to hear Tony and Jesse back on the call and just getting after it, man. It was really nice. And I think some of the other highlights of the weekend, I think Randy Vasquez is somebody.
Yesterday,
yesterday, Paulie and I were driving in, and he worked, 2 scoreless. And the interesting story yesterday, they said his average velo was 96.6 on his 4-seam fastball, which is more than 5 miles an hour faster than his average fastball velo in his debut last year. So again, they wanted him to come into camp in a little bit better shape. They wanted him to earn that 4th spot. Craig Stammen would not promise it to him a week ago. And, went out and, as you said, acquitted himself very well yesterday and is firing the rock at a really, really nice pace.
Tracks with, what we heard from Ruben Niebla back. I think that was the Michael King press conference a couple of months ago. And he said, Randy was working really hard in his off-season work. And that was not the case, according to the team last year, where he kind of showed up and it was, not where they wanted him to be. He was, I think, like at 88 in his first couple of, throwing sessions last spring. So to see him already start at that 97 level, 9 miles an hour ahead of where he was at this point last year, that's an incredible difference. And that's a testament to a good work effort off-season program that was followed through on. I don't think there's any doubt in my mind that Randy Vasquez is the 4th starter. If they want to, keep motivating him by not, making it official, that's fine. And that's Craig Stammen, that's what managers are supposed to do. But he's going to be the 4th starter for the San Diego Padres going into this season. They're going to need him to pitch like he did in the second half of the year. Not just Strandy Vasquez, where he's getting a bunch of guys on, because that's not sustainable.
No.
But a guy who, like at the end of the year, started missing more bats, getting even more weak contact at the end of the season. That is one of the best signs that we've seen from the Padres in this first weekend of Cactus League.
Yeah,
games.
I mean, And they talked about it. Craig said his quote was, I mean, he's right there. We told him he's coming in to compete. I like what we see. When we tell Randy he's got to compete, and you find out a little bit about somebody when something is not handed to them. We love Randy. The level we're seeing so far at spring training, what we saw in the offseason, he's going to have a great season for us this year. So if Randy Vasquez is coming out throwing 97, missing bats, that's inherently a great thing for the San Diego Padres.
I think my biggest takeaway, pitching is definitely ahead of the hitters at this point. Matt Waldron had a nice outing throwing hard, Saturday.
Throwing hard as well, Matt Waldron. Is that gun?
Well, everyone's up a little bit. Tristan McKenzie gave up 4 runs, but his velocity was up as well. Now, these are different guns, though. That was in Surprise, not in Peoria for Matt Waldron on Saturday.
That's true.
I mean, if you don't believe any of the guns, I don't know. But, they're getting outs. They're looking solid. The bullpen, we saw Alec Jacob, Ron Marinaccio, Bradley Rodriguez, always solid work in relief. The hitting we have not seen nearly as much of, especially from the regulars. Fernando Tatis Jr. had a pair of singles yesterday, which was good to see. Sungmoon Song had his first outing after kind of dealing with that oblique issue, I think it was. Went 0 for 2 with a strikeout, but I thought a really good at-bat. His second at-bat came in the 9th inning, late in the game, kind of one of those throwaway moments, but going up against a lefty, got behind 0-2, and was able to hit a hard liner up the middle. They made a diving grab to rob him of what looked like a sure single, but liked what I saw in terms of the at-bat, at least early. But yeah, we have not seen a ton of offense from the regulars who are going to be in the lineup so far, but that's the furthest thing from anybody's mind when we're still in February and opening day is over a month away.
It is crazy to think about the guys leaving for the WBC where they are going to be amped up. I mean, the pitchers are going to be throwing hard. I mean, they're not, Mason Miller's not going to go out there and throw 97.
No.
When you're out there. So I can never really gauge whether it's good to get them that early competition like that, the highest level, or if it's, you need to ease into it. And I guess we'll just have to wait and see, as we do in the game of baseball so much. But I think there was a lot to be encouraged about so far. Now, again, the thing that everyone's talking about the most is the lineup construction right now. And I was thinking about it this morning. Tatis has been in the cleanup spot. And you look at it and go, okay, is this going to be a thing? Now, again, opening day could come. He could be back in the top. You have no idea. But he said, I can do anything at any part of the lineup. So I don't think he really, really cares where he hits. For me, it's not so much about him. It's about who is going to hit at the top.
So on Friday, when we got that lineup out, and we heard Craig Stammen say that he talked to Fernando Tatis Jr., and he didn't, happy to play wherever they wanted, but didn't feel like he was doing his best at the leadoff spot. Tatis would not confirm that afterwards. He did not want to admit to saying anything that was, not, I think, maybe something that sounded like weakness.
Our step and repeat just fell over.
Just kind of didn't land on anyone. I was going to be worried for a second, but it wasn't going to crush anyone to death.
It's safe.
We'll figure it out.
But, I think the idea of him at cleanup, Kevin Acee wrote, that means 40, 50, 60 at-bats fewer compared to the leadoff hitter over the course of the season. I hate that idea that we're going to see that much less of Fernando Tatis Jr. at the plate. But if he comes up with 2 guys on consistently, runners on, and, putting more pressure on the starting pitcher in that first inning, I certainly can live with that. I can see a scenario where the Padres make that work for them.
Well, here's the other thing, man, that I'm just not going to get all bunched up over it right now, because I do say this with very limited knowledge on the subject, but it feels that Craig Stammen will be more apt to make a change if needed than maybe previous regimes were. Does that make sense? I feel like if
I know what you're saying.
I feel like on opening day, the lineup, if you go out and you're facing the Tigers in game 1, you put up 6 runs, you're going to put that same lineup out there the next day, right? You're just going to run it back. But if it doesn't work for a week, I don't think he's going to be married to the idea of guys in certain spots. I do think, Fernando Tatis Jr., Manny Machado, those guys should hit at the top of the lineup. That's about it. Jackson Merrill, those guys should hit at the top. Where they fall, that's what we're going to have to figure out. But until you see it work or not work, there's no reason to get upset about it yet. And hasn't worked in 3 games of spring training. That means 0.
The idea of stability is getting guys comfortable helps them in the long run.
Right.
Like, hey, you know where you're going to be. Your preparation is the same. But I think the idea of scoring runs, you want to put your hottest hitters all together in a lineup.
Yeah.
And last season, it felt like, you'd have a hot hitter hitting second, fifth, and eighth.
Did we ever have a hot
order.
hitter hitting second last year, to be honest with you?
Okay, well, whatever. Third, fifth, and seventh.
Yeah.
They never all seem to be in the same spot in the lineup for the same time.
Yeah.
And that is something you have to be a little more flexible, even reactionary.
Sure.
Like, okay, these guys have all been hot for 3 days. Maybe we should put them all in the same part of the order, because stringing together hits is really the only way to consistently put together offense in Major League Baseball. So, you've heard more of a willingness from Craig Stammen to potentially make some of those changes during the season.
Yeah, 100%. And I thought it was an interesting move right out of the chute, and it's been going on, the last few days. Well, the lineup's out today. I've not seen it yet. Somebody have it handy?
We do.
Somebody said that it's out.
Padres hosting the Milwaukee Brewers here at the Peoria Sports Complex. A game we can go check out in person a little bit later today. I've not seen the lineup yet.
It's up. I just can't see it here. There we go. We got Laureano in left.
Wagner
leading off.
second.
Oh, I love it.
Interesting.
Yeah, Wagner at second. Tatis DHing in the 3-hole.
Oh,
and
I like it.
Duhar playing third. Batting cleanup. Ty France at first. Freddie Fermin behind the plate. Bryce Johnson in center. Mason McCoy at short. Rodriguez in right. And Sears on the bump.
JP Sears getting a look today. Laureano at the top is interesting to me. That guy's going to go up there and eat,
Now,
dude.
with no Bogarts and no Jackson Merrill, obviously this is a spring training lineup, not a regular season lineup. And we've yet to see a full game in which every projected starter has been in there. So you can only read so much into the lineups. I don't really think Ramon Laureano is going to be a leadoff hitter for much of the season, but on a day if both Jackson Merrill and Xander Bogaerts are in the lineup, put them up there and see how it works.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. Should we pick this thing up, because I feel like it's in the way?
Blocking the ways. That's all right. Why don't we take a quick
You get
timeout?
Yeah.
We can come back. We'll get to Don't Do This. So we'll do that during the timeout here. We'll check traffic, and then we'll come back with the story in Don't Do This. That I was almost shocked. Like, this is fake, right?
I thought it was fake too.
But no,
It's
the
real.
owner of the Los Angeles Angels, an absolutely real thing. We'll get to that when we come back on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Hey player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? This spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open. Hey player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? This spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Broadcasting live from our remote Bill House studios. We know how it's Ben and Woods, live from PADRES spring training in Peoria, Arizona. Time for DDT on a Monday. It is brought to you by Dixie Line Lumber and Home Centers, helping San Diego homeowners and contractors fix it, build it, and
enjoy it.
We'll have Craig Stammen joining us a little bit later this hour. First, though, I want to just get started with this story that came out on Friday from the owner of the Los Angeles Angels, Artie Moreno, who was meeting with reporters, and here was his quote. He said that that fans don't really care that much about winning. He said, quote, the number one thing fans want is affordability. They want affordability, they want safety, and they want a good experience when they come to the ballpark. Believe it or not, winning is not in their top 5.
Wow,
he
man.
cited surveys that they've conducted, although did not give the actual results of those surveys, other than what he said is what Angels fans really want.
Sam Blum, I believe that's who it was. Is he in the Athletic? Yeah,
I believe so.
Yeah.
He put out a call on Twitter for any fan that had received that survey. Like, hey, I would love to pick your brain about this. And he didn't get a lot of takers. And a lot of fans said, oh, maybe it's the surveys that they do while we're at the games. You know, what's the most important thing to you? I'm not sure. It didn't sound like it didn't sound very much like their surveys were very vast. It didn't cover a lot of Angels fans. It sounded just more like a talking point from an owner that is justifying not spending any money on his payroll.
He slashed about $50 million in the offseason on payroll. Now, as you said, the Angels have some good players. I think the main problem here. Now, if you're a fan who all they care about is winning, you're outraged.
You're incensed, yeah.
And there are Angels fans, I guarantee you, that are outraged and incensed. So, unforced error by Artie Moreno just saying it. I don't doubt that there are some fans. There are Padres fans who just want to go to the ballpark and have a good time, eat their Cardiff crack nachos, and, you know, enjoy the entertainment and the experience. And that's absolutely fine.
Yes.
Now, what percentage of fans is that? I have no idea. But this whole enterprise does not work without the fans who care passionately about their team winning. And if you give up on those fans, as Artie Moreno is essentially saying we are doing, that we're not catering to fans who want to win. We're trying to cater to fans who want affordability and safety at the ballpark. You cannot possibly succeed as I'm just telling you right now, you cannot succeed as a franchise without at least paying some lip service to the fans who are trying to win. Not to mention your players that you have signed that are, who wants to play for the Angels if they hear that from Artie Moreno? Who wants to go sign with the Angels? Yeah, I guess they're making money, but if you know from the very first thing when you go to Anaheim, they don't care about winning.
Yeah.
They don't want to win. What class of players are you going to get? The ones that don't care.
Yeah, well,
all you're going to have is players who don't care. Then they're just there to make a buck and turn in their time and get to the end of their careers.
Or the guys that aren't going to really get looks from other places.
Right.
But you heard Gavin Sheets talk on this program earlier. Like, nah, man, bring them in. Like, competition's good. We want to win. If these guys help us get to the next level, I think winning is very important to this franchise. And it would be tough to hear the owner come out and say, look, it's actually like 5th or 6th on our list right now of things that fans care about. And I just don't think that's an accurate statement. I've been up there. They got passionate fans. There's a lot of them that listen to this program as well. I hear from them all the time. And again, I say it all the time. I'm sorry. I feel bad. It's not pity. I just feel bad because you deserve better. It's a great little place to go watch a game. It absolutely is. Had a blast there with my family. They got some good, young, exciting players like Zach Neto. Like, I would pay money to watch that guy play short. I love it.
And by the way, wanting to win doesn't necessarily have to coincide with their payroll. I believe the Milwaukee Brewers want to win. They don't spend that much on their payroll at all, but I think they're trying to win, or at least they're saying they try to win, and they do a good job of it. Moreno said, well, for me, I've always wanted to win. It's just what's the cost of winning?
The cost of winning, right?
What's the cost of it? Is it really worth it? I mean, how badly do we really want to win is what he's saying. Do I want to spend that much like the Dodgers? I mean, they are in L.A. I mean, big media market.
It is. It's tough. It's a tough look for Artie and in a series of tough looks for Artie. So definitely a don't do this. This was a incredibly fascinating story. Saw come across my feed this morning. USC star wide receiver Jacoby Lane goes on Instagram and says this and posts pictures. This kid stole my cleats and a bunch of stuff from the SC locker room. All y'all kids out there just know that this is simply unacceptable. He was talking about a 3-star recruit named Brawley Tuatupu who came to the USC Trojans for a look and recruiting trip, and apparently made off with a bunch of gear from Jacoby Lane's locker. And if I'm not mistaken, this dude posted it. Like, well, I've talked about this younger generation. I mean, I'm showing you the picture. I've talked about this younger generation. Like, here's us robbing Patrick Mahomes' house, and it's them, and they have to film it. And I guess this dude took some cleats, he took some socks, he took a game
I guess anytime this happens, I always ask myself, I go, what's your end goal here? I would assume it's to get stuff that you could then flip and sell.
Maybe.
But like, you can't sell certain stuff where it's like one of one, or it's like it's very clear where this came from.
Also, I mean, I would imagine the value of a scholarship, NIL money at USC trying to get recruited is worth a lot more than a couple of stolen cleats and a towel, too. I'd like, show some at least, logic and intelligence to your behavior.
It's the common sense argument. I have it with my kids all the time. Like I need you to play this move forward. Like, how does this work well for you? If you get away with it and you put it on eBay, someone's going to go, wait a minute, how'd you get you know what I mean? Like, you're going to get caught. You get now been exposed. And what coach across the country is going to go, all right, I'll take this 3-star thief on my team. It's insane.
No chance.
It's insane behavior.
Finally, we kind of debated around what story we should go for do this.
Yeah, we did the gold, men winning the gold medal was pretty incredible.
It was awesome, an amazing story.
Yep.
And we haven't really talked about SDFC and their win, but why don't I just one specific part of that match on Saturday night? I don't know if you stayed all the way to the end.
No, I turned it off when we were up 3-0.
Okay, so it was 4-0 late. They brought in this 18-year-old kid they had just signed this week, Brian Zamble, from the Right to Dream Academy out of Ghana. He'd only been with the team for a couple of days, but Mikey got him into the game since it was such a big lead. And not only did he get in, made a hell of a goal. I mean,
for Ben to say hell, that must have been.
It was incredibly impressive for this 18-year-old kid to make his debut for SDFC in the MLS and score at the end of what was just a spectacular MLS season opener for SDFC. Certainly worthy of a do this moment in San Diego sports over the weekend.
They looked incredible. Somebody said this on Twitter, and I agree. Shout out to the Pyro. Whoever runs the Pyro.
When they
I've noticed that.
Yes.
Dude, they are outstanding.
I mean,
I'd be so nervous.
To jump the gun.
Yeah.
The premature Pyro. This guy on that Pellegrino goal, the Dryer sent in, was tipped off the goalie, and then Pellegrino buries it or whatever. Before the ball crossed, explosions. I'm like, this dude is
no
unreal.
doubt if you're watching an SDFC game, if they score, because within like 10th of a second, there are two big giant explosions behind the net.
I'm telling you, dude. Yeah. Mikey gave that kid the game ball, by the way. I thought you meant gave the
Pyro guy the game ball.
I would give him a game ball.
Zamble got the game ball. But
he is incredible. But
it is. I've thought the same thing. I never said it to anyone. I'm going, how do they do that so fast? Is he sitting right there?
He's got to be right there.
Is he right behind the net? I mean, where is that guy stationed?
He's unbelievable.
To decide if it actually went in.
He's incredible. We have the best. In my opinion, he's the best in the league.
I don't know, man. I think about it in hockey and in soccer as well. Like, it's just crazy.
He says before the ball actually hits the back of the net, it's somewhere between the goal line and the back of the net, and those pyrotechnics have already gone off.
They have lasers across the goal line, so when the ball crosses through it, it just automatically sends it off.
They are, and SDFC too. They're becoming must-watch television. Must-watch TV. My whole family, man, fired up watching that game. I mean, it was just incredible. And yeah, 5-0 was the final.
5-0.
5-0. And just incredible effort from the fellas, and let's keep it rolling.
And that is don't and do this for a Monday. All right, we will come. There it is.
Do this with Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan.
My bad. I didn't trust Kyle necessarily to get the close, but he was right there with it. Good job, Kyle. When we come back, I know Craig Stammen is supposed to do his daily media, and then he's going to walk over to the table and join us. So that should be sometime in the next 15 to 20 minutes or so.
I feel like we've talked to him 1,000 times already. What are we going to ask him today?
Get another one. Well, this is the first time we've talked to him live here at spring training.
All right.
It's a little bit different.
How's it going?
Good. How's it going since we saw you 2 weeks ago?
Good. All right.
We can also at some point get into another crushing loss for San Diego State basketball.
I mean, we don't have to.
It's
We're
fine.
Over the weekend as well. It's all coming
3
up.
days in March. There you go. It's done. It's
3 days
over.
in March.
Ben and Woods, live from Peoria, Arizona on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
He just here. I'll show you a little. Just a little.
Please don't.
Just a little bit. What hurts on you?
Nothing at all.
A little bit.
Not that now.
So let's say
whatever you're about to touch is the only thing.
Let's say
It's gonna hurt.
Right?
All right, yeah.
Okay.
Pretend your knee hurts.
Pretend your knee.
It's going to in a second.
Right here.
Oh, that is not pleasant.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Cameo, the Peoria Sports Complex. We'll be here through Wednesday, talking Padres baseball. By the way, we went through some of the game action over the weekend, but a lot of stuff happening on the backfield still at this juncture of spring training. Saw Joe Musgrove pitching in a simulated game against some Seattle Mariners players over the weekend. Of course,
I missed that entirely.
Yeah, great to see Joe back on a mound, even though it wasn't an official Cactus League game. He's ramping up, obviously, for his return for the Padres after missing all of last season. And saw some work, Walker Buehler pitching again on backfields against some Padres batters, including going up against Manny Machado. And the reviews were pretty good for Walker Buehler. Now, he's not throwing with the velocity of old vintage Dodger Walker Buehler. He's throwing more like 92, 93, which is not – he was more in the high 90s when he was at his prime.
Sure.
And, at the top of that rotation and leading them to a World Series title. But doesn't mean you can't be effective at a lower velocity. You just have to kind of reinvent yourself a little bit. And you mean, it's not easy to do, but you figure a guy like Walker Buehler might be able to reinvent himself a little bit, and use his other part of his repertoire to still be an effective starting pitcher in Major League Baseball. If not an all-star, not a Cy Young Award winner, maybe someone that can help the San Diego Padres this season.
You're going to need a bunch, man. You're going to need a bunch of people to contribute. 5 starters will not cut it these days in Major League Baseball. Benny, you need 8-9 guys that are ready to take it when you need it. Guys are going to get hurt. They're going to get banged up. They're going to skip starts, whatever it may be. Guys are going to go on paternity leave, whatever it could be. You need a bench. You need a guy depth in an organization. But the thing is, man, a couple of these guys that have come in on these deals right now, if they don't make the squad, they're going to elect free agency and go somewhere else. They may be pitching for jobs elsewhere. So that's the other thing you need to look at. But I'm encouraged, certainly with what AJ Preller has done, and we'll see kind of what shakes out and filters through at the end of camp and what that 5, maybe even 6-man rotation looks like.
Saw a couple of the other, non-roster signings appear in Cactus League games over the weekend. I think we mentioned Tristan McKenzie. The results weren't there, but the velocity was there, which is intriguing. Ty Adcock pitched yesterday in the 9th inning, allowed a run. Interesting, though, because Ty Adcock is a right-hander, and he faced almost nothing but a string of left-handers.
Sure.
Got all of the right-handers he faced out. It's hard to evaluate a guy like that in a spring training game. Did he do the job or not?
Right.
Because you're not going to set that guy up. If he makes, a chance to make the Padres team, you're not going to send him up there against nothing but left-handers.
Sure.
You're going to try to, as a manager, get him in good situations. but you want to see how he competes in tougher situations like he did.
Lanes.
You
Get
yes,
the right lane for him. And yesterday, it's spring training, so they're just going to say, all right, let's see how you do against lefties. And the Dodgers are like, oh, we got 40 guys here. Let's throw 3 lefties up there against them and see what they do. And but like you said, he got the right-handers out, and that's probably what they signed him for.
And prospect-wise, you saw Miguel Mendez pitch on Saturday. Again, gave up a couple of runs, but also was touching like 100 on the radar gun. We talked about it with Sammy. I think off the air, Garrett Hawkins is another big arm that the Padres have in the minor league system that could potentially be someone that we see later in the season, or more likely is someone that becomes trade bait for AJ Preller, at some point for at the trade deadline for teams that are out of it, that are looking for younger arms that they can add to their system. And while, Baseball America and the experts are ranking the Padres dead last in terms of the minor leagues, there's certainly some raw talent down there. It's not, you don't look at the Padres minor leaguers and go, well, these guys have no hope of anything. There are guys who absolutely could project to be big leaguers in their minor league system.
All I see every day from like Pitch Profiler on Twitter is like, good God, there's another one from the Padres bullpen and another one from the Padres bullpen. And look at Garrett Hawkins, 80 grade fastball. Like, yeah, there's some guys down there. There's some guys down there that can or will get outs at the big league level, whether it's here or somewhere else. But there's very intriguing arms down there. They are a factory right now for guys that can come in and throw hard. So it's good to see. Really excited to see how our bullpen shakes out. They're going to be nasty this year. They're counting on a lot of these guys to be huge, because you just don't know, man. You just don't know what the starting pitching is going to look like early.
And you wonder with, as you mentioned, guys who you won't be able to send down to AAA. Matt Waldron is one of those who's out of options.
Out of options, man.
And while you think, well, I mean, Matt Waldron, you don't expect him to be the 5th starter. There's another team probably out there that goes, we'll take him.
Sure.
So you could lose a bunch of guys at the end of this camp, which makes some tough decisions for AJ Preller. Probably not now, but probably as you get to later in March. And do you trade a guy away, and you may not get top value, but otherwise you could lose players like that if, you don't have room for them on like the 40-man roster. So that's going to be part of the equation as we get later in spring training. You could see a couple of moves where you wonder, why did they deal that guy away? Why did they deal Matt Waldron away for not much, or a young like single-A prospect? Well, they're not going to have room for everybody at the end of spring.
Our pal David J in the chat says, well, some of the pitch profiler guys online need to build can he get the pitch over the plate into their models? Demon movement on a pitch that never was going to be in the zone is just tiring. It's true. I mean, there's a lot of raw talent, raw being the operative word. But that is intriguing in the year 2026 to every team, right? Every team is intrigued with big, strong, powerful arms.
Well, of course, because you can teach. You think you can at least teach control. You can't teach a guy who throws 91 to throw 99 that easily.
Right.
They're getting better training methods where you can add some velocity, but that's a long, laborious, painstaking process where you can't always hope with the command. It's one well-timed phrase from Ruben Niebla unlocks something in someone's brain. I go, oh, I've got this now.
Yeah, correct.
To change a guy's course of their career.
No, it's exactly right. Exactly right. But again, man, plenty of guys that pique your interest if you're a Padres fan.
All right. The manager, Craig Stammen, is supposed to be coming out in just a couple of minutes, going to talk to the media, do a scrum, then he's going to sit down with us. So let's check traffic. We'll come back. We still have plenty to go here till the top of the hour. Ben and Woods broadcasting live from Peoria, Arizona on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. Woods, one MLB move over the weekend. Rhys Hoskins signed. Maybe a little bit less than we were expecting.
A little bit. A lot of bit.
In the offseason. He agreed to a minor league deal with the Cleveland Guardians. He makes the squad. He makes $1.5 million plus incentives?
Yeah, $1.5 million.
So, the former Philly now moving on to Cleveland, a guy that we had talked about a little bit as the Padres were looking for first base options earlier in the offseason. Now, the Padres have a plethora of first base options at this point after signing Nick Castellanos and Ty France and Miguel Andujar along with Gavin Sheets. So made a little less sense to pursue a Rhys Hoskins at that point, but not the kind of market that he thought was going to be developing for him.
Yeah, I was a little bit surprised. I saw our friend Devin Caney, who's a reporter up in Philly. She does morning radio there. She tweeted out something over the weekend that was pretty interesting and said that Bryce Harper has kind of been lobbying for some right-handed help. And they thought, Rhys Hoskins, former Philly. I mean, they just let Nick Castellanos walk. So, he needs, they want some right-handers in the lineup. I was actually surprised that a reunion was not on the table for Rhys Hoskins and Philly, but he went to the Guards. My guess is he'll probably make that team and get that very paltry $1.5 million salary, which, again, I had heard some much higher numbers earlier in the free agent process. But when you get down to spring training starting, teams need to get it going. They need to figure out who's going to be in their lineup. So he had to take what he had to take.
All right, let's talk about some of the other local sports that happened over the weekend. Craig Stammen's going to be in our next hour.
Okay.
Mountain time, not Pacific time. I got to keep my time zone straight when we're here in Arizona.
He was like, hey, I heard you guys' tease. It's 9:45, right? And I go, what time is it right now? I'm like, I don't know, dude. We're all off.
It's 8:45 here.
8:45 here. It's 7:45 in San Diego.
So next hour will be
about
Craig
an hour
Stammen.
from now, we will have Stammen.
Obviously, another disappointing performance by San Diego State basketball over the weekend, losing at Colorado State 83-74. Defensively, the Aztecs were just nowhere near where they have been the last couple of months, where they really had turned it around. And I had no idea how well they had turned it around. Remember early in the season, they couldn't get a stop. They were getting like 100 points to Troy and 100 points to, other teams and going, what's going on with this Aztecs defense? Dutch got that fixed. Since January 1st, San Diego State has been number one in the nation in defensive efficiency. And then all of a sudden, they go to Colorado State on Saturday. They can't get a stop to save their lives. I mean, early in the game, Colorado State was struggling from three-point range. But once they made a couple, they could not turn it off. They were bearing threes. They were getting to the line. Anytime San Diego State tried to get a stop, to get back into the game, because they were down double digits, just there was no chance. And even though they scored 48 points, the Aztecs did in the second half, which you would have thought, all right, they're going to come back and they're going to win that game easily. They could not get a stop on defense. And it was one of, for me, the most disappointing performances and efforts that you've seen. Because offense, you're going to struggle. On the road, at altitude, you're going to miss shots. We saw that a couple of games ago. That is going to happen. But defensively, to see an Aztecs team like that just look confused, maybe even disinterested at times, that is not something you expect from a Steve Fisher, Brian Dutcher-led team at this juncture in the season, knowing every game is so important that game probably will now keep them from any hope of an at-large bid to the NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
2 losses in last week. They could not afford those 2 losses last week. And now their season is going to probably come down to the Mountain West tournament, 3 games in 3 days in Las Vegas next month. And that's not easy to do.
And it's not probably, I would say definitely.
Definitely.
Here's my only caveat.
Oh, God.
Utah State lost to Nevada. So if the Aztecs beat the Aggies on Wednesday, the Aztecs are back in first place. If they end up winning the Mountain West outright, it's no guarantee. But, I mean, it's also hard to see the Mountain West champion not getting a spot in the NCAA tournament. Is it going to be a one-bid league just for the conference tournament winner? Is that it? Is that what the Mountain West has come down to?
Yeah.
In their last season, that they may only get 1 team into the tournament, but
it's not good. Every loss is a bad loss.
Every loss.
They're all bad.
They're all bad. We probably make too many excuses. And it's altitude. It's a decent team. It's on the road. You got to win some of those games. And right now they're just, I don't know what it is, man. I saw a pretty damning quote from Reese Dixon Waters following Saturday's loss. And I don't have the quote in front of me, but it was something along the lines of, Yeah, I don't know. We just
starts in practice.
Starts in practice. The last couple of practices that we had, we weren't locked in, and starts with us and blah blah blah. And I go, I appreciate accountability for sure, and acknowledging that and telling us that. But man, this is not a good time of year for that to be happening, where you guys aren't locked in at practice and going into a road game and stuff like that. I don't know what it is. This team just doesn't seem to have it this year.
Mark Ziegler, pretty pointed. I mean, says it's hard to win when you have 1 foot out the door. And there's plenty of guys probably thinking now, well, all right, this had a couple of really bad losses recently. Practice isn't going well. Where am I going to play next year and for how much? Right. And that's just the nature of the beast. It's certainly, to be sitting here on February 23rd talking about all the things that need to fall into place for the Aztecs to at least make the tournament, not where I thought we would be. So it does feel like they're a little bit cooked right now.
I mean, he mentions by name. The only guys that are figuring to return are Tay Simmons, Thakbor Majak, and Latrell Davis, who's redshirting this year. Said everybody else, Miles Bird, the non-seniors, Miles Bird, Magunguaf, BJ Davis, Taj DeGorville, Farrell Compton, Elsie Harrington, Miles Heide, they could be gone next year, whether it's for more NIL money at another school or simply because San Diego State needs to replace them with other players in this offseason. Yeah. I mean, that could be a huge turnover like we've never seen in the San Diego State program in the offseason. I mean, they're back at full strength. They got Magunguaf back a couple of games ago. Elsie Harrington came back this weekend. They combined for 1 point. The two of them.
It's unreal, man.
At Colorado State.
It's unreal.
Magoon didn't even play 5 minutes the whole game. First half, never came back in the second half. But Dutch said he didn't practice much this week because of the knees bothering him again. I mean, they just cannot get any flow or cohesiveness with this team this year. And it is really disappointing just knowing how much talent they had. And, I don't want to say that, Dutch mismanaged, but having an 11-man rotation all season long just never seemed to work for the San Diego State basketball team.
Yeah, it just goes to show you, man, it's so hard to talk about sports intelligently because it just backfires on you. It backfires on you. On paper, this was going to be one of the most exciting Aztecs teams of the last 20 years. But,
sky was the limit.
Sky the limit. Yeah.
Conversely, I will congratulate the SDSU women. They cut down nets over the weekend, beat Fresno State 68-59 to clinch a Mountain West title, regular season championship. Even our friend and colleague Chris Ello got to go up and snip a piece of the net at the top of the ladder, which was really cool. They can wrap up the outright title. Now, unfortunately, doesn't really matter in the Mountain West for the women. You have to win the conference tournament to go to the NCAA tournament. There's no at-large bid coming for San Diego State, despite how good of a season that they have had. So their season was always going to come down to it. But, they get to hang a banner at Viejas Arena. It's the first regular season championship for Stacey Terry Hudson, in her decade now plus as the head coach of the Aztecs. And a nice accomplishment for that women's team.
Yeah, no doubt about it. It was good to see Chris up there on the ladder.
And then a couple other notes. Our UCSD Tritons, who play here on 97.3 The Fan, big road win on our airwaves at first place UC Irvine over the weekend, 71-69, upsetting the first place team in the Big West. UCSD has not had a great year. They're in 7th place, but they're only 2 games out of first. So with 4 games left, they could still move up quite a bit if they get hot at the end of the season. They host CSU Bakersfield on Thursday. And just elsewhere in college basketball, you had a couple of big games over the weekend. Number 3, Duke knocked off number 1 Michigan in a neutral site game. Duke playing really good late in the season. They're going to be obviously championship contender. And number 4, Arizona beat number 2 Houston. After Arizona lost a couple of the games to drop out of number 1. They take over first place in the Big 12 with a key win over their conference rivals now in Houston. So you have the top 4 teams all colliding.
And all this means is that we're getting closer and closer to the tournament of drops. That's what when I hear this kind of talk, that's what it means here on Ben and Woods, the one of the best traditions of the many good traditions that we have. That it's right up there.
It's going to be It's
going to be all-timer.
All right, we'll take a timeout. We'll come back 2 hours down, 2 hours to go. More players, more coaches certainly coming up in the second half of Ben and Woods live from Peoria, Arizona. Padres Spring Training 2026 here on The Fan.
way home, live from Padres Spring Training in Peoria, Arizona. Man, it's very temperate. It feels great out here. It looks great out here. It smells fantastic out here. They're grilling burgers or something around the corner. I'm dying. I'm salivating. I'm like, we have 2 hours left. I got to smell this the whole time. It's just incredible. It's great to be with you guys. It's just the most fun time of year. Baseball is back. And this is kind of what makes it official.
You forget about the logistics of spring training.
It's bananas.
They have to feed an army. Every single day. Not just the players on the major league side, which, by the way, at this point in camp, there's still 60, 70 guys in the major league locker room. But there's also then another, 100 to 150 minor leaguer guys. And they haven't fully started, I think, their spring training, but a lot of them show up early. So you have tons of people running around this building every single day, and every one of them has to be accounted for nutritionally. Trainers, the scheduling around here is nuts.
It's crazy. And just, I'm coaching 2 little league teams, and the scheduling for that is bananas. It's absolutely bananas. And I'm dealing with 32 parents, right? 2 teams, couple of practice a week, a game a week, potentially. And it's so overwhelming that I can't even imagine what it's like herding 200 players. You're in this camp, and you're over here on this field. The logistics of it are baffling to me. And credit to every big league team that does this well. It is just bananas to me. So I had a great weekend this weekend. Had scrimmages and practices, and it was awesome, man. A couple basketball games for the kids. So we were running around like crazy. I didn't even pack until we left yesterday, and I realized I packed like an absolute buffoon. I overpacked, but I didn't pack any of the right stuff. So if you see me repeating an outfit, that's why, because I woke up.
What did you overpack if it wasn't enough clothes for the week?
Let's put it this way. I have more pairs of shoes with me than I do outfits to wear to spring training.
You already borrowed a belt from me last night.
What did I tell you? I forgot. Now I get to wear Ben's woman repeller rope. What is this? What would you call this?
It's a woven
belt.
It's not like a rope, but it's an adjustably, so it doesn't need holes. You can just put it as anywhere you want, so it fits many people.
I packed more than enough underwear and socks, but I have more shoes than pants and like tops. I don't really like the word top, but shirts and pullovers and things to stay warm in the morning. You had to layer. I don't know what I was doing. I just know that it was very early when I packed. I was feeling a bit scattered. It's hard. It's hard. The kids were up, and they don't want dad to leave. And we're currently in our house. We are bunny sitting right now.
Bunny sitting.
Yes, we already have cats, and we have added 2 bunnies to the litter for at least the next 3 weeks. And my mother-in-law has a farm, and so the bunnies will eventually go live on the farm, but it's not ready yet for their habitat's not ready. So guess where they live? They live in my house now.
They're living in the woods home.
So I've got 2 little bunnies running around.
You've been afraid to take in an animal or two.
No, I haven't. We have Bonito, Bunito.
Bonito.
And we've got Toddy.
Bad
Bonito, and we've got Toddy. And they are awesome. And my kids love them. I mean, they are obsessed with them. Now, Taylor is a bit Lenny-ish with
I love the literary reference. That is a great literary reference.
If you've ever seen Of Mice and Men, you know what happens with Lenny when he gets his hands on the bunny. So you got to watch him all the time because he loves it so much that he wants to, I think, maybe potentially squeeze the life out of him. And every picture I see, I showed you guys the FaceTime this morning when they FaceTime, he walks in and he's holding that thing. And you're like, all right, Lenny, put that thing down. Let it live. It's very
not to spoil the book that's been out 100+ years, but Lenny doesn't end well for Lenny in that book. If my junior high school English class is a reminder of what happened in that.
Yeah, it's exactly right. And so
Lenny tends the rabbits.
Yes, Lenny tends the rabbits, and so they are just obsessed with these rabbits, and they've got several little homes that we have the cage, then there's like the play area. Now the cats are very curious about it too, so they've been interacting. It was like drinking from a fire hose this weekend. 2 basketball games, 2 baseball games, 2 new bunnies. It was a lot. It was a lot.
I'm glad you got your baseball games in after all the rain.
Yeah.
The fields were okay.
It was awesome.
I was able to get my golf in on Saturday morning.
Oh, I didn't want to bring this up,
It
dude.
was tough. I had my match play.
I didn't want to bring this up, but he sent us a text, and we got to talk about it.
It choked.
You choked.
I choked.
Straight up.
The other guy had something to do with it. But I was taking on Bradley. Tough old Bradley, 3 handicap.
About how old is Bradley?
It's probably
About 70?
mid-60s, maybe, I would say.
Okay.
Good player, though. Always been a very good player.
Sure.
But I got out to a good start. I was 4 up at the turn.
So now that's for the layman out there.
Yeah.
He finishes 9 holes.
Yeah.
And he's leading
4 up.
67-year-old Bradley by 4 strokes.
So all I have to do is
don't mess up.
I can lose by 3 holes on the back nine.
Yeah.
I'm still good. 1 up going. All I need is 1 up at the end of the match to advance.
Yeah.
And somehow in a hail of back nine 3 putts, I let Bradley back into it. I'm still 2 up though.
Okay.
With 2 holes to play.
Okay. You feel the pressure at this point.
If I did, I thought I put my tee shot on the green on 17, par 3. So I'm in good shape.
Okay.
Bradley goes over the green, so I'm going, all right, all we need to do is tie this hole, and I've won the match.
Yeah, you win the match.
He chips it real close, like tap in, so I can see the putt. So I just need to 2-putt. I've got a real downhill snaker, though, and it just rolls by about 6-7 feet. Miss the putt coming back, so
you
lose that hole.
You just feel your heart beating.
Still 1 up going to 18. He hits a great drive. I back it up. I hit a great drive. We're both just a pitch from the green.
He needs a birdie.
Well, he needs to beat me. So I put mine kind of right on the front edge of the green, about 25, 30 feet away. He knocks his just inside of me about 20 feet. So I think, all right, I'll have to just 2-putt here, roll it up to about an inch, tap in. I got my par. So he's got to make a really long 20, 25 footer for birdie to extend the match to extra holes. Rolled it right in for birdie.
You're kidding me.
So we go to the 19th hole, and we go play the par 3 9th. I put mine on the fringe left. He puts his about 20, 25 feet away. I go, okay, got to win this hole. Knock mine to about 2 feet. He rolls in his birdie putt again, and I lose. I lost my match.
He made up 5
shots in 10 holes, and I lost my match. And I'm really bummed about that because I was looking forward to that. I've been playing well lately. I thought I have a chance to go deep in this thing, and I choked. It was on me. There was a couple spots where, could have wrapped things up, and I did not do so.
We've all been there.
I know.
We've all been there. I choke all the time. It does happen. But, yeah, you texted that to me, but it broke my heart. I was bummed. No.
I was bummed.
It's not the way you want to – it's not the way you want to go into the week.
I know.
Knowing you would have been able to play, next weekend in the tournament?
Yeah. Continue on the match play, second round. And, I've realized that, I put a lot into that because that's my main outside hobby. And so when you don't come through, you feel really disappointed.
Yeah, I mean, we play fantasy camp, and there's people of all ages and skill levels. Now, I've never been struck out by a 67-year-old. That I'll tell you. When that day comes, I may hang it up. I might hang it up at that point. Any thoughts of hanging it up, trying something new? Maybe pickleball, paddleball?
I'm stuck on golf now,
Stuck on golf.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry that that happened to you. It's not a great feeling.
I was in a bad mood the rest of Saturday, I'll admit.
Yeah, you were. So yesterday on the
bad mood
on the drive, Ben was not his normal jovial self, and he was driving alone. And Paulie and I were riding next, and we would pull up next to him and give him the finger, and Paulie pressed his boob up against the window to see if Ben would look over. Nothing. He was staring straight ahead. 10 and 2 the whole time. He was 10 and 2.
We saw you singing one point.
Yeah, at one point you were singing. Now, what were you singing?
I was singing A Horse with No Name by America.
Oh, I've been through the desert
on a horse with no name.
But you said you weren't listening to music.
No, I was just singing to myself.
Oh.
It just seemed like an appropriate song as I was driving through the desert. So I started singing that.
At one point, too.
So Ben's just cruising down the 8,
just singing.
passing Zizek's Road or whatever, and he's just, on the desert with a horse with no name.
At one point, Ben was a little heavy-footed, and you were leading the charge. At one point, I passed you, though, and we left you in the dust because we went to Gila Bend.
I saw that, and all of a sudden you just took off.
We were gone.
Yeah, I thought I was pretty consistent, but you started going faster as the trip went on.
Well, you slowed to a 70-mile-an-hour pace,
Yes.
and I was like, this is absurd. So we get all the way to Gila Bend. We stop at Gila Bend. We go potty, fill up with gas, get some snacks, and then we drive, and we catch you again. You didn't stop in Gila Bend.
No, I went right through, and you still passed me
you
yeah.
again.
Extra
When we
stop.
got on the 10. It's unbelievable. But,
I
yeah,
had thought you were ahead of me that whole time.
No.
And then when we got to the 10, all
saw
of
me
a sudden
behind you.
went right past me, and I go, oh,
did you?
where did they fall behind me?
Did
at some
you?
point?
How much of that 6-hour trip did you raw dog?
Just the first 3.5, 4 hours, and then I had my old PGA Tour radio, the Genesis, to keep me
Oh my God.
company.
We get in the car.
Yesterday.
We get in the car for dinner last night, and it's welcome back to PGA Tour Radio. Wrapping up the Genesis
Like
Invitational,
the
and we
first
start
thing we hear.
we start crying laughing. So you raw dogged 4 hours.
Yeah.
No music, no nothing. Just
3.5. Yeah.
singing.
Yeah.
Singing to yourself. 10 and 2, 70 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And you raw dogged that, and then you put on the golf tournament.
I'm glad I wasn't going too fast because we nearly had an incident with an Arizona patrol officer who they have the most disguised patrol
Yeah.
cars you can imagine.
They will get
I was
you.
behind one for at least 7 minutes, had no idea until the lights pulled over a guy who went by me on the left
Yeah.
that I was even following an officer's car. Looks like a normal kind of sports car on the road, and then all of a sudden the thing just lights up in blue and red. Like built-in sirens all over the place. Had no idea it was a police car.
I'm so riveted by it, as are the people in our chat. I'm so riveted by the raw dogging phenomenon of just 4 hours of silence. Now
I can't
I've
think
got
like that. It's,
now
it's crazy.
I've got small kids at home. It would make more sense for me to get in the car and just enjoy the silence. Your kids are grown. What are you doing?
I really enjoy like the terrain and the
you can do it.
geography and
You can do it
everything.
with music.
I don't like to be distracted by the music. I want to see, just where I am and the journey and take it all in and be present for the drive, for the journey from San Diego to Arizona.
I'm trying to sound spiritual and all that, but it's sounding just cyborgy.
Cyborgy, robotic, very.
Like, well, I haven't been programmed to enjoy music while I drive. I have to kind of choose one or the other right now.
Just get from point A to point B. Let me lay on my charging pad. Is Omar here? It's just incredible. I'm a little bit. Yeah, he's just man of focus, commitment, sheer will.
Is
will.
Omar here?
Is Omar here? I'm a little nervous already about the expense reports. A little bit.
Oh my gosh. Well,
We went.
it's not every year that we make not one but 2 stops before even getting out of California.
We were laughing because we went to get coffee at Cafe Adesso, and then we went to Las Palmitas in El Centro, and we were crying, laughing, thinking of Adam looking at our receipts, going, "You guys couldn't even make it out of California. We had 2 stops. Oh my God! You had to get coffee and breakfast.
2 reimbursements before 9:30 in the morning.
He is just gonna die." And then we went to dinner last night. We got this appetizer that was basically, we're gonna throw a giant slab of shaved pork on a board with a bunch of focaccia bread.
Oh,
And you guys,
so good.
it was incredible.
It
We
was
had
really good.
a bottle of wine.
Chickpea hummus.
We had each had an entree, and I'm just going salad. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh my God, we are dead.
I would
Adam's
like
gonna
to.
lose
I
it.
think Sammy's going to join us here in a little bit. I think we may have spent more on the first day than Sam has the entire
I would say
2 weeks
There's
he's been
no-
here
there's no
already.
doubt.
So
there's no question.
I mean, there are 3 of us, so
Yeah,
we can
there's
go
3 of
3
us.
times the pace.
I was crying. Like, I just pictured him going, "You couldn't even get out of California? Are you effing kidding me?
You couldn't have waited for Yuma.
Couldn't you have eaten breakfast at home?" Just losing his mind as we're turning in all these expense reports. So we'll see. Sammy still thinks I'm BSing about how much grief Klug gives for our expense reports every single year, man. The audit is, I mean, he really should work for the IRS. It's serious. It's a serious.
You're making
serious
me
thing.
handle it this year. So
I
I've got all
did.
the receipts in my pocket. I'm the one that's going to have to deal with Adam.
Yeah, he
But
likes
maybe-
you better. So
Well, yeah. Sometimes you can.
you catch more flies with honey.
It's possible,
You know?
that because he knows that I'm trying to minimize costs. I don't know
Yeah.
if he feels the same way about you.
Probably
so
not.
He'll probably be a little bit easier when we go through things.
We have a dinner planned tonight with one of the enemy. We're going to be dining with the enemy, Katie Wu, who writes for The Athletic, covers the Los
dinner with
Angeles
Max
Dodgers.
Muncy. What?
Yeah, can you imagine? We'll see if Walker Buehler wants to come. No, we're gonna have dinner with her. Try to get some get some insight to what's going over there. They're just sitting on big piles of cash and whatnot, and just not sweating, making the playoffs at all. They have a 1-in-3 chance I saw of like winning the World Series. So it's just insane.
Jesse made the point yesterday. I was listening to some of the broadcasts.
I was too.
That no National League team has ever won 3 World Series in a row.
That's
in baseball
crazy.
history. The only teams ever to do it are the Yankees and the A's.
Yep.
And the Dodgers are the first in the National League to win 2 in a row since the Big Red Machine.
That's
in the
bananas,
1970s.
man. That's bananas.
That's how hard it is to do repeat champions and to do 3 in a row. The Dodgers are trying to do something unprecedented this year.
Yeah, I hope it doesn't happen.
No, of course, we hope it doesn't happen.
I really hope it doesn't happen. But no, we're looking forward to seeing her. She texted us yesterday. She goes, "Hey, I'm here at the game. Are you guys at the game or do you hate me?" I said, "We do not hate you. We love you very much. We always will. She's always been our beloved. She will always be our beloved. She just happens to be getting a paycheck from, like the worst organization on the planet. So it's fine."
All right. I think we'll take a timeout. I think we might get Sam Levitt to stop by and join us here in a couple of minutes. We're also going to qualify. We're not going to play Take on Woods out here. It's too hard, but we'll come up with a question to qualify someone for Guns N' Roses tickets when we come back as well in our
should
usual
it be
Take
like a
on Woods
Guns N'
segment.
Roses question?
It's possible.
I can come up with
All
one.
right. Sounds good.
All right.
That's coming up next with Ben and Woods. Take a quick timeout and then more on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? This spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open. Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Felt like I just stepped into a time machine here at Peoria Sports Complex. Just talking to Buddy Black. Saw Will Myers walking by right behind while we were chatting with Bud Black.
I didn't see Will.
Walked into the clubhouse as well. It's like 2011 all over again here at the Peoria Sports Complex.
Well, hopefully the record's a little better than.
Yes, yeah, hopefully different. But it's good to see Buddy as always. Now one of the special advisors to General Manager A.J. Preller, and of course Will Myers serving as a special instructor and working with a lot of the minor leaguers and stuff in his first camp. I have not had a chance to talk to him yet. I'm not sure if our next guest has, but joining us as he does every day during spring training, courtesy of David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys. We got Sammy Levitt here. spring training Sammy, and it's good to see you in person, Sammy. You've been doing great work so far.
Oh, thank you very much. Good to see you guys. Bright and early, very early clubhouse today, as you saw at 7:05 a.m. But that's what comes with spring training, and good to see you guys.
Boys look tired walking in this morning. They did
it is early, although
good morning.
Here's what's amazing: no matter how early clubhouse is, these guys get. I don't think people realize how early these guys get here during spring training.
I watched a video, you guys. I can't remember who put it out. I saw it over the weekend, but it was essentially, was it the Phillies? It was a day in the life of a Major League Baseball catching group at spring training. It absolutely blew me away. And it was the minute they got to the field, the drills that they did, catching the bullpens. It was so involved that you forget, like, oh my God, these guys are putting in a tremendous amount of work, and especially that catching crew that are out there, because they got to catch all the bullpens, they got to go play games, and they got to get their batting practice in, and they've got to do funny drills with machines shooting pop flies into the air. I mean, it was like sun up to like 4 o'clock. These guys didn't stop.
Put it this way. I was inside the clubhouse at 7:05 this morning, and most of the guys were in there.
Yeah.
And if they weren't in there, they were there by 7:30. So it is weird. It's a totally different schedule than the regular season, which is mostly afternoon, evening, sometimes the morning, a day game. But it is interesting to think about that the spring training schedule is so radically different than what the regular season is. But those guys here early this morning, like you said, had the PA meeting, which I would love to be on a fly on the wall for that.
God, man.
But good to see everybody and good spirits.
I wonder if there's any teams that's ever considered doing more of like a later schedule to mimic the regular season.
They do it every now and then.
I know you have to play day games so often here. I know later in the spring they'll mix in a couple of night games just to kind of start adjusting. But it's weird how, usually you prepare for what you're going to face during the season, but in spring training, it's such an early morning crowd,
very much
as opposed to the regular season. Have you talked to Will Myers since he's been here at all yet?
I briefly said hello. I have not talked to him, for an extended period of time. It's on my to-do list. I've talked to Buddy Black, who I know you guys just saw
the best
for a while, and he's great and has been around a lot. Really, I mean, I've seen him almost every day. So good to have Buddy here. And by the way, has a great voice.
Oh,
great voice.
He's handsome as all get out, dude.
He's serious and a great voice. And so good to see him. But I've not spoken to Will at length yet.
He's one of those guys. Most managers, you can see the stress kind of on them, but never really saw it on Bud as much. He's always the same. He's very calm. He's very put together, just kind of the same person he seems to have always been.
Come watch me manage one time. I start to realize now why the kids are all so tense.
By the way, I don't think I mentioned this. I may have when we talked about Herman Marquez, but he said that he spoke to Buddy before he signed, and sounded like that was a part of why he ended up in San Diego. So good to hear Buddy having that kind of impact, and obviously is a pitching guy. So good to have him around.
So Sammy Levitt joins us. You've been out here, a couple weeks now?
This is 2 weeks today.
2 weeks today.
Yes, I drove about 2 weeks ago.
How's the discipline been? We talked day one.
Pretty good.
The discipline.
Pretty good. I have not touched the snacks there, which is good. The eating up and down, pretty good for the most part.
Yeah.
I've had to sort out the breakfast situation. Also, these clubhouse times have been pretty early.
Yeah.
So that's cut into the gym time.
Yes.
In the morning, I've not got to the gym as much as I would like, but a few times a week, which is good. I'm no Kevin Acey. I mean, Kevin, he's up at 4:30.
Grinding.
I mean, Kevin, I'll give him credit. He is up grinding, and I got to be a little bit more like Kevin Acey on the gym front.
Is your Airbnb with other media people nearby?
No. So
You're on your own.
he goes to the gym up here near the complex, but I think they're a lot closer. I'm down by the football stadium, so I joined a gym down there, and then I'll go home and I'll change. But I can't come up here and then work out and then go right to the complex. So I'm doing okay. Last night I had a big dinner because my mom's in town, and it was her birthday yesterday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Mom. Turned 66 yesterday, so that was nice, and went to a nice steakhouse for dinner. So that was, big meal. But other than that, I've been pretty good.
How do you manage your schedule once the Cactus League games start? I've seen content. Obviously, when players come off the field, you get a chance to talk to them, like Fernando Tatis Jr. on Friday.
Yep.
But you don't go to every single game, do you? The road ones. How do you decide?
I go to most.
You go to most of the road games
depends.
too.
It depends on what the lineup is. Depends who's scheduled to pitch.
Hey, you better be going to those road games.
No, you know what? He actually Adam doesn't.
Yeah,
he
we
doesn't
know.
really
He
care.
loves you.
Especially if
He
it's
loves
him.
you. He hates us. I understand. He's like, Adam never says a word to me. He
really-
favoritism.
It really is remarkable.
It's crazy.
He never says a word.
Not
So
a word.
there he is in the chat. Dinner at a steakhouse. Did your mom pick up the tab?
Yes, that was not on the
For her birthday.
Yes, that was not on the Odyssey tab.
Hey, Sammy.
In fact, the steak itself was too expensive to even expense. So,
Sammy, don't worry about it. I got it.
that would have been some to try to expense the dinner. But I mean, I don't. You're right. I don't go to every game. Like tomorrow is a good example. It's in Mesa. We'll
Pass.
see who's playing. I do like that. And I'll tell you, there are some other factors that play into it as well. Like, how late am I leaving here? If it's like already noon and it's in Scottsdale at the Giant Stadium, which is really, really difficult to park at. Yeah, if I haven't left by a certain time, I may say
not
forget
going.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I try to go for the most part. But we'll see. It depends lineup. Depends who's pitching. Here's the other thing too. Like, even if somebody has, a really good day or it's notable, you can always talk to them in the morning, and it's typically not that pressing. So I try to go most of the time. I would say probably 75% of the road games I go to. Yeah, I'll go to most, but not all.
Talking to Sammy Levitt, all of his appearances courtesy of David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys. JP Sears is going to be on the mound today. Not someone we've really had a chance to talk to much, but I kind of thought he was the front runner going into the season. But now that we've kind of seen some of the other pitchers, it does feel like an open competition here.
Yeah, it does. And look, there's, I think, a number of different things that play into it. What if there's a six-man rotation, which is something that's been thrown around? Could he play a role in that? I tend to agree with you. I think, if they're going with a five-man out of opening day, to me right now, he would be kind of on the outside looking in, fighting for that fifth spot. When you consider Marquez being here and some of the other guys, Walker Buehler being here, and some of the contractual things that might play into things like that. Even you got to consider things like this. When we've talked about Randy being out of options, but I put him in a separate category because, it's, and Craig was asked about it yesterday, just to take it away from Sears for a second. He at the start of spring training, Craig Stammen didn't put Randy in that group of for sure.
Yes, top three. They got three, and that's it.
But it's pretty clear that Randy is on an inside track. I think they also like when Randy is given some incentive and like, hey, you got to go earn your spot.
He said it.
I think they like that. Yeah. So interesting comment yesterday about that. But I very clearly think Randy is probably going to be that number 4 unless something crazy happens.
Just don't tell him yet.
Yeah, right.
Don't tell him
and
yet.
then you're looking at that number 5, and you know who else is out of options? Matt Waldron.
Yeah.
So I consider those types of things, and the bottom line is, even if JP Sears is not in the rotation at the start of the year, the reality is he's probably a guy that you're going to see at some point when you need him, right? We know you typically need a lot of guys to come up and make starts. So, look, we'll see how he does today and, kind of take it from there.
Toughest decisions are when a guy with options is the one who's pitching better.
Yeah.
And you sometimes have to tell them.
Have to manipulate it.
But we have to send you down because we need to give these other guys who don't have options a chance first because we can't send them down. So all the things that AJ Preller has to go through.
Yeah, and I would like a guy like Waldron. I think a lot of teams would be interested in him. To me, he's interesting.
He's done it on the major league level. He had that 2-month stretch or so. A couple
He's
of
done
years
it.
ago.
He's a very very unique guy in the sense that he throws a knuckleball, but he also is now throwing 95.
Yeah,
and has a good off-speed pitch. Like, he's kind of a fascinating guy, and I don't know if you guys saw what he said after his outing yesterday, and he was good, 2 scoreless innings. He was very honest about, hey, look, I'm out of options, and if you remember last year with Waldron, they were very, very intent, and he was intent on getting that knuckleball percentage up. Like, it was like, hey,
got to do it.
It's got to be in the 60%
or something.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you could see it yesterday. It's kind of changed now because they've kind of said to him, like, hey, you do this like how you feel you want to do it.
Makes sense.
Like you take the reins on it. Like, if you want to be a guy who's more in the 30-something% and be more of a pitcher, and it's just like one of the pitches you use, like it was when he first came up, and you think that's your best recipe for success, then this is kind of your decision and your game. It sounds like they've given him kind of more ownership and control about who he's going to be, and I think part of that is he's out of options, and this could kind of be like a last hurrah
audition,
right?
Even
as a Padre,
yeah.
So we'll see kind of how it shakes out. But that was interesting, and he's unique. He's got that knuckleball, but there are things he does that are just from a pitching standpoint really good beyond the knuckleball.
It looks like his velo's up. The sweeper's really good. They said
Randy's
yesterday.
Randy's velo's
up.
At 97 yesterday. McKenzie, and I saw some stuff online of like, are the radar guns juiced? I haven't talked to anybody about this. I'm like virtually positive that stuff is coming from TrackMan or Hawkeye or whatever they're using now, and it's on Savant. So I don't think so.
Not internal metrics.
No, that stuff's not coming from like a radar gun in the stadium. Like, so to me, it seems very legit.
It's different stadium. Like Tristan McKenzie was pitching in Surprise.
Correct.
Sure.
So you've got different systems and stuff that are still tracking these guys.
And for Randy too, if you look at his chart from last year, the velo, I mean, he was throwing 97 towards the end of the year. So it's not far-fetched that he could be doing that here, in mid-February. But, he's looked good.
I love it. I love getting into the minutia of spring training. Who's going to make the team, who isn't going to make the team, what potentially is out there. Are there still guys that AJ Preller is looking at, got earmarked to try to work a trade? I mean, again, every day you see these guys come out and big arms and high velo. It's very attractive to some teams.
And we talked about it off air a little while ago. And we've also talked about the idea, could they make a trade out of the bullpen, right? And dangle one of those guys that I think would be very attractive to another team. There are definitely guys in that major league clubhouse right now that are next up, right? Yeah. Whether you want to talk about a Bradley Rodriguez, who we've seen a little bit. This guy, Garrett Hawkins.
Nasty.
Tell you what, he's really nasty. He's a big guy. If you look at his numbers last year, what he did, I mean, he had a 1.5 ERA. I mean, he is really intriguing, and they've done a good job at getting these bullpen arms that kind of are like just, in the pipeline, whether it be David Morgan or Bradley Rodriguez or identifying guys like a Jeremiah Estrada. I mean, they've done just a great job at, I think, creating a system there in the bullpen where, if you wanted to move a guy, maybe you kind of feel like, okay, next guy up, no big deal.
Sammy, I know Craig Stammen's coming out, so you'll scrum. He's going to sit with us as well. But before you go, I just want you to know, I think you were in the clubhouse while we were talking to Gavin Sheets this morning. I defended you, though, because he mentioned how all these videos get posted of the pitchers blowing away the hitters early in camp. And I said, our Sam is one who posts some of those, but I will say he is very cognizant of that fact, and he feels bad about it, knowing that he can't post every single matchup.
Right after he talked to you, he was going into the cafeteria, and he said something like kind of just like out loud of like, and Sam keeps posting these videos.
And there's Sam
of me striking out. Didn't post a walk against Mason Miller. Posted the strikeout.
That's exactly what he said on the show.
Yeah. So,
you tell him that walks don't put asses in the seats and strikeouts do.
But like I told you guys, at least this year, the early part of the spring training, the hitters have not given me like much to.
Nothing.
There's not been like a home run, so it doesn't mean anything in reality. But from my video purposes, I've had the strikeouts to post.
Yeah,
so.
man, don't like
Sorry,
it. Don't
guys.
like it hit better, I guess, is all you can say to these guys, right?
Man, like, what are you worrying about my videos? In a month, they're going to be on TV in real games.
Exactly.
Then the strikeouts really matter, and much more people see them.
Exactly
that is
right.
Sam Levitt, daily with us, presented by David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys, helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. We're going to take a quick time out. The manager, Craig Stammen, should be with us in just a couple of minutes after his scrum. Don't go anywhere. More Ben and Woods on the way on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
He just here. I'll show you a little. Just a little.
Please don't.
Just a little bit. What hurts on you?
Nothing at all.
A little bit.
Not that now.
So let's say
whatever you're about to touch is the only thing.
Let's say
It's gonna hurt.
Right?
All right, yeah.
Okay.
Pretend your knee hurts.
Pretend your knee.
It's going to in a second.
Right here.
Oh, that is not pleasant.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Just got to say hello to Jesse Agler, Tony Quinn here. Always good to see those guys. I imagine we'll get them on in the next couple of days as well.
Oh, yeah.
Broadcasting live from Padres spring training in Peoria, Arizona.
Do I look different?
Yes, your meta glasses are on.
I've got the Ben and Wood show meta
You're recording.
glasses
I
on.
can see the light is blinking that you're currently recording us.
Isn't that wild? These things are pretty cool. I had an idea yesterday of you wearing these into like just a gas station and asking for a hustler or something. I thought would have been really with some cigarettes and a hustler.
Especially because gas stations don't even have printed magazines
Do they
anymore,
not?
as far as I can tell.
I know that they do, yeah.
Is there not? There's nowhere. So if you wanted one, where would you get one?
I
An
don't.
adult emporium or something?
Probably.
Yeah. Are those still around?
Yeah.
Which
those
they have
still are
plenty
around.
of those around.
I always
I'm
wonder
pretty sure.
what is in those stores, considering, well, just about anything you want is online nowadays.
Yeah. From what I hear.
Yeah.
But in Arizona, never mind. Have you guys had to do the age verification yet?
No.
No? All right. Me neither. It's a different world. They have different
Do you
laws.
have to upload your driver's license or something? What?
Selfie.
Different
world.
Never mind.
All right, we need to check traffic. I know Craig Stammen's about to do his scrum. We're going to talk to the manager.
I'm going to wear the metas over
of the San Diego Padres coming up in just a minute here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center. Injured? Demand justice. Demand Jurowitz. 855GetRoss.com. Here's Kelly Danick.
Seeing some improvements on our roads. Crash has cleared on northbound 5 past the 8, so we're seeing a little residual slowing there. Northbound side of the 805 before El Cajon Boulevard reports of a stalled car in the fast lane. Up ahead, an accident in the clearing stage just before Balboa. Also, northbound 163 before Genesee, an accident blocking the 2 or 3 right lanes. Westbound 8 cleared a crash near College, but with this other accident right before the 5. Fast lane blocked, tow truck on scene. In the East County, westbound 8, just before Greenfield, collision involving a car and a motorcycle. It's over to the right shoulder. Accident has cleared on the coastline southbound 5 before Poinsettia. Watch out for a little residual there. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben and Wood, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
This is truly juggling all the balls, trying to figure out where everyone's going to slot in. We will have our biggest fan announcement coming up at the top of the hour. Always can still register your name at 973thefansd.com/biggest-fan to try to win the night in the Odyssey Suite, catered by Spiro's Mediterranean Cuisine for the upcoming season.
Just realize how loud we are
Scream.
with all you're screaming at the top of your lungs, and all these people are now out here watching us. So I just got very self-conscious. Everyone looked over at you.
Am I supposed to speak in my
inside
voice?
I think so.
A little bit.
I speak in my radio broadcaster's voice when I'm broadcasting on the radio.
But like the skipper's about to come out. I don't want to be a pain out here, though.
So we have a lot of people watching right now. I want to make sure they can hear me at home or on the East Coast, like our friend Major Garrett, who texted and said they got about half a foot of snow, big blizzard on the East Coast last night. People are snowed in. Snow day at school. No school this morning on the East Coast. And we're had here with beautiful weather in Arizona.
It's perfect. And we don't want to rub it in. I actually want to tell you guys to be careful out there on the East Coast. We got a lot of tier ones that were tweeting in this morning talking about how nasty it is, and they're just bundled up at home. Take care of yourselves, protect yourselves, and I hope this blows over for you, because as you'll see through my meta glasses later, you just couldn't ask for a better day out here.
It's possible that Padres assistant GM Josh Stein is going to be joining us as well, maybe even before Craig Stammen. That's what I mean by kind of having to play things by ear when we're out here on the back patio. So
we typically would go to a commercial break in 2 minutes, but we might have an interview, and then right after that we might have Stammen, and now everyone's still staring at us because Ben won't stop screaming.
Screaming at the top of your lungs.
Sorry, I'm so loud. Should I just point this way toward the
That's not
as
a bad
far
idea.
away from everybody as possible?
Yeah, Jesse Agler is just mean mugging us.
Yeah,
he's
like,
idiots.
But no one's doing anything out here yet. Craig's not even out here doing his scrum yet. I mean, if the scrum was going on, I can understand.
That's fair.
Why I might be a distraction. But until that starts, I feel like I'm safe being as loud as I want to be.
Yeah, that's fair. It's your fun day. We run the show out here, right? These glasses are pretty cool. If you don't know what meta glasses are, you put them on and it films everything. Now, it's cool unless you're a giant creep. And they actually sell, Paulie said, little stickers that go over the recording light. Because if I walk up to you, see it's recording.
Which is the whole point.
Yeah, the whole point that you let people know,
it's disclosure.
Like, I'm recording us.
Bro, when I was setting it, I got the glasses the other day. When I was setting them up with my phone to get all the videos and everything, there was alert after pop-up, after notification, after alert of like, hey, typical practices are letting people know that you're recording them.
Yes.
If you're turned on, if the video is turned on and going, because it's a lot of legal stuff. Like, hey, you can't just walk in and start recording people and have a camera right in their face.
So, like, you need to alert Josh Stein.
You need to let Josh Stein know.
I'm currently recording you with these glasses on, just so you know.
You're also on this camera, on that camera, on that camera as well. So, and you're live on the radio on 97.3 The Fan. Padres Assistant General Manager Josh Stein joining us. So, if you didn't know,
how are you?
Be careful with what you say right now.
It's
good to see you, Josh.
Absolutely, welcome.
Back for another season.
Yeah.
Brass tacks.
Let's get after it.
You were
spring training.
Brass tacks. AJ was up for a contract extension, and did it pop in your mind? Hey, if he goes, I could be the guy. It's the vice president type situation, right? Like you'd be crazy not to.
No, I don't think about that stuff. I'm thrilled with the fact that AJ is going to be here a long time.
We were too.
It's been awesome to work alongside for over a decade now, and getting to ride shotgun with a general manager like him has been a thrill. And I know it's brought a lot of excitement to the game of baseball in San Diego. And so yeah, I'm not thinking about those things.
That's how Ben feels about me. Just riding shotgun for all these years. I got to ask you too, man. I was kind of making the point earlier in the show this morning. Every day, we've only played 3 spring training games, but every day it's, oh my God, look at these guys out of the Padres bullpen. Prospects, right?
Yeah.
And then you see these lists like, oh, Padres are dead last in prospects. Number one, we know what you've traded. You guys know what you've traded.
Yeah.
You know that's gonna whittle that down. Personally, how does that feel when it comes out? Do you look at number 30 in prospect ranking as, oh, here's a challenge for us?
Yeah, I mean, I think on some levels, you respect the fact that those writers and people are putting a lot of time and energy into ranking players and creating those lists. At the same time, I think we have a good sense of where our system lies. It's not what it was in the past.
Sure.
It's not a top 5, top probably 10 system in the game. At the same time, we got a lot of players down there. We have a lot of arms. We have some young position players that we're very excited about. I think our scouting group, Chris Kemp, both domestically and internationally, has shown the ability to bring players in. And then I think we've done a great job developing players over the last few years. So I think you look up and there's a lot of players we're excited about on those backfields. And
that's really all that matters at the end of the day. Is this list is not going to sway anyone. Here's what I do know, and I think we'll all agree. Come end of July, your phone will be ringing. Somebody will be calling you to ask you.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, both your ability to get players to your major league roster and to impact your major league team, and then what other teams are willing to give up. And I think we've shown that over the years that other teams, general managers, scouts are interested in Padre prospects, and that's what's given us the ability to go out and make the acquisitions we have at the deadline.
Talking to Padres assistant general manager Josh Stein, and I'll ask this in more of a hypothetical sense as opposed to specific players, but we were talking earlier about guys with options, guys without options, and the potential roster crunch that comes at the end of spring training in about a month. How much planning are you doing right now in terms of like figuring out what room you may have for certain pitchers, starters, bullpen guys at the end of spring training, and what you're going to do about it? If a good problem comes to hand and you've got too many good pitchers on your hand at the end of spring.
Yeah, I think you nailed it at the end there. That's the good problem to have, and that's almost inevitably what happens when we get out of here. We start playing games. We start, the competitions, go on. Those questions tend to be answered for themselves, and so it's something we're well aware of. We know obviously the roster situations, the outs that, when we sign minor league free agents like Walker Buehler or Ty France, they actually get collectively bargained outs at the end of spring training. So, all those variables are at play, but, as we've seen over many years, you can never have too much pitching, and you come to camp and those competitions tend to take care of themselves.
Yeah. And you got a new skipper at the helm. He's got a lot to deal with. If things like ABS and challenges and CBA meetings and everything else. I mean, he's got a lot to deal with WBC. It's quite a first camp for a rookie manager, Craig Stammen.
100%. But, I think Craig's up to the task, just the person that he is and how he kind of takes in information, takes in any kind of challenge. So I think that's A. B, that this is just kind of what spring training's become. I mean, I think like we've talked about it a lot over the years, whether it's WBC, whether it's issues with labor, whether it's, infectious diseases.
Sure.
Spring trainings over the last 5 or 6 years have not been quote unquote normal. And, I think that really one of the strengths that Craig has is his ability to just take things in and, deal with them and approach them in a reasonable manner.
And the conviction with which AJ, you guys, your team made that decision that Craig Stammen was the right guy. I'm not going to say I was surprised at all, because you can't make a manager hire. You have to be convicted about it. And he really, really was. And all we've heard from the players and guys that have played with him in the past is the command of the room.
Yeah.
When did you guys know? And I know he was helping out with the interview process. It got flipped and he ended up interviewing and getting the job. When did you guys kind of have that inkling of like, maybe we have him on the wrong side of the table?
I think AJ's talked about this
for a while,
publicly a little bit. Pretty quickly after Craig joined us in a non-playing capacity, we started to see the same things we saw as a player. So the ability to command the room, the kind of common sense ability to take in a lot of information and help problem solve. There are leader of men traits and characteristics that certain people have in more measure than others. And I think Craig's always had that ability to not only command the respect of players, but also of, really any room that he's in. And it became in that process a pretty easy choice for us to once he was open-minded to it, to kind of advance him in the process.
Got one more before we let you go.
Yeah.
AJ paid you a nice compliment recently, and I've heard this from other places. It said Josh is the best in the business when it comes to dealing with the complex financial aspects of contracts, luxury taxes, and everything. How does that process work in terms of like making the budgets all work together and putting a roster on the field?
Yeah, I mean, it's that was a nice compliment that AJ gave me, and I think at the end of the day, we're always in kind of lockstep in communication with ownership about what our budgets are going to be. There's different ways to account for player salaries in the sense that you're looking at it through a lens of competitive balance taxes, cash. There's an LRD, labor relations kind of accounting.
Right over my head.
Yeah, I know. These are all the elements, and so I think the biggest aspect of it is just being communicative. Obviously with AJ and what we have to spend, and then with ownership, and trying to make sure everyone's on the same page.
Awesome,
Josh, really appreciate it. Bottom line is you're going to get $20 to do the show today, but you're going to get a mutual option.
That's right.
For $100 to do the show tomorrow,
And a buyout
if we don't bring you back to do the show tomorrow.
What do you got?
I have nothing. I have to run it by my wife.
We could escalate that buyout based on how you do today too.
Right, some incentive clauses. I like that as well. Josh, as always, thank you so much. Love that quarter zip as well.
Guys.
That's fantastic. We're going to take a time out, top of the hour. I think Craig Stammen's going to walk over next. So when we come back, manager of the San Diego Padres,
Craig Stammen
is going to be
Ruben
with us.
Niebla, both in the next 20 minutes or so.
Awesome. And we'll have our biggest fan announcement. So lots to get to. Final hour of Bennett Woods coming up next from the Peoria Sports Complex on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. All right, final hour of Ben & Woods. This is a busy hour. In fact, the manager is sitting down with us right now. Quickly, though, let me get to our biggest fan announcement since we do have a limited time window. If you hear your name called, you'll have 10 minutes to call us back at 833-288-0973. Qualify for our grand prize, 20 tickets for you and your friends for a night in our Odyssey Suite at a Padres game this season, catered by Spiro's Mediterranean Cuisine. And this morning's biggest fan is Beto Canedo from Escondido. Beto Canedo from Escondido, 833-288-0973. Kyle will be looking for your call back in our studios, but we are joined right now, and I believe he's setting a major league record at the moment. The most times ever being interviewed by the same morning show before actually managing a game.
That's right.
Greg Stammen.
That's right. Congratulations.
Congratulations to you guys.
Congrats.
Thank you. We've all done it together. All the hard work has paid off, but it is always good to see you.
Yeah, I mean, it's great to be here in spring training. Always good to sit down and talk baseball.
When you were a player, now it's different now, you're the skipper, you're the boss, but when you were a player, spring training for you, year one probably looked a little different than year 7, year 8. Now that you're a skipper, is it like doing it all over again in year one again? Like that different feeling?
Yeah, it's like doing everything different for the first time, but it's exciting too, and trying to learn something every day. I've learned a lot over the last 3 games, especially, and even the off season. So, constantly learning, constantly trying to figure things out, manage relationships, manage the game, all that in one.
Any the juice, right? The first spring training game, you're making out the lineup, and there's some good players in that lineup opening day. What'd that feel like making out that first lineup? Because I know that game doesn't count, and nobody really cares about the results, but how'd that feel for you?
It was a lot of fun, and like you said, we do have a lot of good players. That makes it a little easier.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out where they're going to hit, where they want to be in the lineup, what sets them up for the most success. So I feel good about who we're putting in the lineup right now.
For sure.
What are some of the small things you're kind of figuring out, like where you're going to stand or sit?
How are you? Are you going to cross your arms? Are you going to hands on hips?
Think about these things
how much bubble gum you're going to chew in the game, how much water you want to drink pregame so you don't have to go to the bathroom during the game, like stuff like that.
I get it.
All those little things.
I get it, man.
Did you feel comfortable? I mean, the first couple times in there, though?
We're still trying to figure out the rhythm, it's all good. Manny came up to me the first game. He goes, "You're way more nervous than I am." And I was like, "What do you mean? You actually have to play. I'm just sitting here watching you.
I'm watching baseball."
And he goes, "You're not even talking. You're so nervous."
Oh no! Called out. Well, we've asked the players. We're like, "Hey, give us some dirt on the new skip." They're like, "It's great. Everything's great. Everything's positive. We're feeling good right now." And that's always the beauty of spring training. I mean, I think you'd be crazy not to have let yourself think about, all right, what's it got to be like? And you can speak to, because you were a player, the best managers, you wouldn't know if they won 5 in a row or lost 5 in a row. Is that fairly accurate to say?
Yeah.
And for you, have you thought about, hey, inevitably things are going to get difficult. Guys are going to get hurt. Something's going to happen. You're going to lose a few games in a row. It does happen to everybody. Have you thought about how you'll handle that yet, or is it I'll just wait and see?
Yeah, we've completely thought about that
a
lot, because we just know the rhythm of the season,
right?
And it just doesn't go straight up the mountain. There's some setbacks and things like that. So we've talked about how adversity is going to be our teacher. We're going to learn from it, we're going to grow from it. It's not a setback, but it's a setup for more success. As long as we get on the front end of that, get the players bought in on thinking that same way, hopefully that sets us up for handling those tough times a little bit better.
Sure.
The competition for the starting rotation, the back-end job seems to be pretty interesting so far. So Matt Waldron pitching yesterday. He mentioned, out of options. That's something that you and AJ, Josh Stein have to think about as the spring goes on. But how is it kind of, very early, obviously, going, but just some of your observations of some of those pitchers who are vying for that spot or those spots?
Yeah. They've all come in ready to go. They're making the decision making is going to be very difficult based on how they've worked in the offseason, the effort they put in here so far in spring training, and what they've shown to us out on the mound. So that's our goal as decision makers, to set up a healthy competition and then, see how it turns out best. And hopefully the decision's hard for all of us to make.
What's the most annoying question that you keep getting asked every day? Because that one is going to get worse. The media, they have a job to do, you have a job to do, but so far, are there any questions you're tired of getting out, like lineup construction? Because it's going to wear you out. I mean, I get worn out talking about it, so I can't even imagine how you feel as the guy that makes the lineup.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. I mean, probably the number one that I've been asked a ton, just because it's new, is the ABS system.
Yeah.
And, we've seen it in games a couple times. There's just
the umpires are actually really good.
Yeah, they are.
And there's not that many calls that we can challenge, and sometimes we challenge the ones that we shouldn't.
Sure.
So it being a super strategic part of the game, I don't think it's going to be super strategic. It might happen in certain situations, but it's just something fun that baseball started up. But I'm tired of talking about what my strategy is for that.
I'm so glad.
The strategy is to get it right.
I'm so glad we didn't ask that as the lead. No, but when it does, you mentioned when you're talking about making out that first lineup, good players, getting them in a spot where they want to be, and also getting them in the spot that's best. And we were speculating about your managerial style. We haven't really seen it yet, other than spring training, but like the ability to be flexible and want to be flexible, and the communication with the players, you may hit 3, you may hit 5, you may hit 1, you may hit 4, whatever. How do you reconcile that? Is it just going to be based on, hey, man, this lineup's working, we're going to keep rolling with it, or we need to make a change and you need to be willing to do that?
Yeah, I think it's just being adjustable, kind of like what you said is, finding the rhythm of the season and having like kind of your game plan going ahead and then seeing how that works and then being able to adjust off of it and not it being seen as a panic move, but just trying to put the players in the best situation to succeed.
Because there are guys that are like, look, man, because we've talked to them over the years. I mean, we've talked to, Juan Soto, we've talked to Luis Ariz, we've talked to Xander Bogaerts, and it's sometimes I like hitting there. I don't feel like I get my numbers there.
Yeah.
Or I get my numbers there, but I really don't like hitting there. So that's kind of a lot to deal with. You want to keep guys happy, but also let them know this is what we need from you.
Yeah, in the end, we got to win games,
Win
right?
games, right.
And if we worry about team glory, is kind of what I look at. If we look about the team having success, individual success follows that. You look at the Blue Jays and the Dodgers. They had team success last year, and all their players were up for all the accolades at the end of the season. And so, just trying to reiterate that type of culture, that type of thinking, and not get so focused on the exact day, but the big picture hopefully helps.
I love that.
I'm told that your associate manager is about to take over that chair as soon as you leave. Now that you've been at spring training, what has been kind of the role for Ruben Niebla with the new title and how that's worked so far as both pitching coach and associate manager of the Padres?
Yeah, I think pitching coach, that's all stayed the same. The associate manager has probably just opened up a few things that are not actually on the field, but more off the field of just, kind of gathering the coaches together and helping coach the coaches. He's the one that's got the most experience on our staff and has a lot of knowledge on that and is able to help some of our young guys that are, especially me too, kind of, fit in where we're supposed to and figure things out. And then in game a little bit, it's just been more communication with us, talking pitching changes and things like that. So we're working on that. Our communication is getting better. 3 games in, hopefully it'll keep getting better.
All right, well, Craig, we appreciate it. I don't know if we can squeeze in another interview before opening day, add to our record.
We'll see you tomorrow.
We may try at some point. We'll be here for the next couple of days. So anytime you want to stop by and make that an unbeatable record, we're happy to have you.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, Craig Stammen, manager of the San Diego Padres, with us here. All guests appear on our SDCCU fan hotline. SDCU, it's not Big Bank Banking. It is better. And are we breaking, Paulie, or are we going to come?
Going straight in.
Go right to Ruben. So we're going to let them come on and bring Ruben on out. It's been a while since we've had Teal Ruben on the show.
Oh, look at him.
So
Handsome.
certainly
There
looking
he
for.
is.
There he is. He's coming up right here. Yeah, just gotten a little bit more about
Look at this guy.
Oh, he gets applauded
Look
right
at this
in.
guy.
How you doing? Good to see you.
We are we're about to be joined by the associate manager and pitching coach of the San Diego Padres. Get him on a headset, get him on a camera.
Look at that.
Get him ready to go. Pride of Calexico, California.
There he is.
Ruben Niebla is with us here on 97.3 The Fan. Ruben, it's good to see you as always.
Good to see you guys.
How we doing, buddy?
Last year, I told you guys look great.
Thank you. Do we still look great or no? All right. I mean,
That was last year.
that was last year.
This
You
is
guys
this year.
look even better.
Thank you. Thank you. How's it going so far, man? A lot.
Good.
I was laughing the other day. I saw this, AJ Preller keeps signing guys and keeps signing guys, keeps signing guys. And I saw this video of this man standing in a room. He had a 1,000,000-piece puzzle to put together. And I go, must be what Ruben feels like when AJ's like, here's all these guys. I need you to get them. I need you to fix them. I need you to get them back to where they need to be. Does it ever get overwhelming for you?
No.
Right?
Because that's the right answer.
That's the job.
That's the right answer.
But it's actually, when these challenges come up, it's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun because AJ does a really nice job getting us people that we know that we might be able to impact. So it becomes a little bit of a fun project for me to be able to like figure out who these guys are and how can we make them better.
It's got to be cool for you too, because you hear guys coming over here going, I wanted to be with him. I wanted to work with Ruben. I've heard what he's done for others. Let's let him do that for me. That's got to feel pretty good knowing that guys want to come over here and work for me. I know Michael King I know you're a big part of getting Kinger back here, which you had to be elated to get him back at near the top of the rotation.
Yeah, I told AJ going in the offseason, I go, that's our number one target. We got an ability to sign a number one, top of the rotation guy. Like that's the guy we want. He's familiar with our program, and I'm glad that he feels comfortable enough to be able to come back. So that was really cool to see that.
Ruben, we don't have enough time for me to ask you about all the pitchers that I'd like to. I want to ask you about Walker Buehler and Marco Gonzalez and Matt Waldron. Never going to be able to get through everyone. So I will let you kind of tell me what has stood out to you. A couple of the guys, just kind of some observations that you've been able to make here in the first couple of weeks of camp.
Yeah, so all of those guys and every major leaguer has something of an outlier, right? Something that they do really well. That's everybody in Major League Baseball. They have something to do really well. So I'm looking at each one of them, and it's like, yes, I can see why they've had success in the big leagues. Marco Gonzalez command, Tristan McKenzie's fastball, ability to spin the ball. Waldron, knuckleball, now more velo, off-season throwing program. We kind of tailored for that. We actually was searching for that. The Randy Vasquez is being able to how do we kind of nailed some things last year biomechanically. How do we now program that into an off-season program with weightlifting and the conditioning? And so, Sears, we did a very similar thing. So Sears pitches tonight. I am expecting a little bit more velo out of him. And so being able to do that, it just, again, becomes fun, but you got to unlock some things sometimes. And sometimes you hit it, sometimes you don't. But, as long as you have a systematic way of going about things, you're going to have more success.
No, it's been great to see it. And I was talking to some, people in the know, and they said, man, sometimes a guy will come over from another organization. You'll look at what they throw, and you'll go, why did you throw that pitch so much? Because wasn't really effective, but they had you throwing it 70-80% of the time. You guys can take that and go, no, we're going to switch it up a little bit.
Yeah. So the way our system works, which is different from other organizations, not to give away too much, right? But we really try to complement what the pitcher does well with what the hitter is capable of doing as well. And so we see a lot of times when pitchers come over, adding pitches, all of a sudden it's like we got more horizontal movement, we add a little bit more vertical, whatever it is. It really is a complement to what is his fastball doing, what is his best pitch doing, how do we complement those pitches so they can keep working. And if a hitter comes up and all of a sudden it's like, this is the three pitches that this guy can't hit or struggles with, and if you have them, then go do it. The next guy might be a little bit different. So when Pivetta is a great example. This offseason, he caught himself, but he goes, well, what percentage do you want me to throw a curveball in? I go, well, who's hitting? He goes, oh man, I forgot. And great. so it's based on that.
And does every pitcher come to you at the beginning of the spring training and go, hey, I want to learn how to throw this? Do they all want to add pitches, or do they ever want to subtract pitches? How do you
never subtract?
Never subtract. They always want to add or get better, right?
Yeah. Subtraction would mean like, okay, you have this pitch, but you throw it 2% of the time. Right. But not really taking away so many pitches. We just, might suppress that pitch a little bit.
Or maybe fine-tune
just a little bit. But, when players come in, yes, I think it's been more open to suggestions. But there's people that come in, like I'm watching a Walker Buehler, and I'm going like, wow, Arsenal's pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, how do we tighten those pitches up? How do we make them consistent? How do we put them into attack plan? And how do we go from there? And so, it's always like a balance of like, what is the guy offering? How do we make it better?
Talking to Padres Associate Manager, pitching coach Ruben Niebla here on 97.3 The Fan. And the adding of the velo, as they call it, is fascinating because they're still kind of big kids. I'm sure they love to see. People are questioning the radar guns already because we're seeing so much velo. He's just nodded like that's not true.
That's not true.
How does that process work? Like, How are we going to get Mason Miller to 107 is
Right.
really what I want to know from 104.
So we're probably not, right?
Right.
But here's the thing about Mason Miller, and every guy that has pitched in camp, there's like, I'm looking at it, I'm going, there's a reason for that.
Yeah.
So Mason Miller started his programming, off-season programming, a little bit earlier than everybody else. This was obviously due to the fact that he was going to be on the WBC team. He knew that ahead of time. So when I connected with him, in the offseason, it was like, okay, we're going to start a little bit earlier. You have to make sure that you're ready to compete and give it your best at the WBC. How are we going to get there? And so the bullpen tracking, the effort level, it was a ramp up that was very carefully planned. And so when he came in throwing that hard, he's also a little bit more physical. He's moving well in our metric system, and so there's a lot of things that match. We can go. Who was the other one that was being questioned?
Tristan was up. People were looking at Matt Waldron was up.
Yep.
People were looking at that.
So Matt Waldron, we approached him this offseason, and we talked about who does he want to be as a pitcher? Does he want to be a knuckleballer, or does he want to be a pitcher with a knuckleball? And he chose the route of, I want to be the pitcher of knuckleball. I go, if that's the case, then we are going to go into a velocity program in the off season so that we can complement your fastball, try to find a little more, try to unlock some things. So the training was different than some of these other guys. So he changed it. Obviously, we see the body. He looked great. He lost weight. He got himself in good shape, got himself stronger. Really started what we say moving a little faster, and the motor is a little bit bigger now. And so, Randy Vasquez was the same. We unlocked some things biomechanically last year. Now we're able to complement his off-season weightlifting program and being able to stay a little bit more consistent. Our strength coaches visited him this off-season. We know exactly where he was at with communication. It was communication 2 times a week with him as to what he was doing, keeping him consistent, partnering with the strength coach. And then he comes in, and it's not surprising. The guy's kind of like close to where he ended up last year. He's ready to go. He knows that he came in here competing for a job as well, just like everybody else is, obviously, outside of maybe 3 guys. And so, again, that was one of those things. And Tristan McKenzie knew where he was. His first year as a free agent, ability to sign somewhere else. So his training was geared towards be ready to spring training, come in a good spot, and obviously he nailed it.
Yeah, and the reports and everything have been great so far, and ultimately, man, you guys are going to have some, which is great. You want tough decisions at the end of spring training. You want the tough ones. But what else was I going to ask, Ruben? Oh, how many text messages do you send out in the off season a day? Is it just you got 150 guys or something that you're working on programs for, and you got to make sure they're staying accountable and you're staying accountable to them?
Yeah.
How insane is that for you? Plus, you got the promotion now, so you got more responsibilities.
Yeah, that I put a little bit more on my plate.
Yeah.
We're handling it though.
Yeah.
But the thing about the off-season program is that we look at it as that's our biggest opportunity.
Yeah.
And so the communication with the player needs to be very consistent, and needs to be an expectation, and it needs to be very, very programmed to where we want that to be. What ended up happening here in the last couple of years is that we have a pitcher's text group. And once one pitcher puts in his video of him throwing, a fastball or a slider that looks pretty good, here comes the other guy on top. Here comes the other guy on top. And once you create this fire, the players run with it.
I love it.
And so the communication, we pride ourselves in being the best communicators in the off season. Going into Petco and seeing some of the guys that are local, we're moving around a lot, and we've executed that really well with the full pitching group with Fritzy, Chris, Peter, myself. We did a really nice job at communication, but it wasn't us. It's only as much as the players want to do.
For sure.
Well, Ruben, we either end this now or you just become a full-time co-host of the show, because our tier ones actually like you better than they like us.
They do.
So,
they love this.
You could just they're fascinated by all of this, and we appreciate it as always. We're fascinated by it as well. Thank you so much for sitting down with us.
Thank you, guys. You guys are the best.
Thank you, T.O. Ruben. Will you sign that bat for our
we're
listeners?
going to take a quick timeout. We'll come back. We still have a couple segments left. We're still going to give away qualify for those Guns N' Roses tickets. I didn't do it last hour, but I promise we will do that coming up. Don't go anywhere. Check traffic. More Ben and Woods on the way on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open. Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Let's get right to it. We got another Padres coach sitting down with us here after we just talked to Ruben Niebla, who was fantastic. With the Padres' new hitting coach, Strven Souza Jr. is sitting down with us here on 97.3 The Fan. Strven, it's a pleasure to meet you. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, guys. Pleasure to be here.
Now, you definitely want to get to the point in your hitting coach career where, like Ruben has, where guys are like, I got to come there because I got to work with Ruben Niebla. You want to get to that point as a hitting coach. What's it been like for you so far?
Man, it's been really good. I think we got a good staff already here of coaches, Pat Sullivan, Mike McCoy, and Raul Padron. So, I think being able to deploy those guys to be the best they can be and work inside their spaces has been my number one goal, and then getting to know the players. And in doing that, it's been a ton of fun, and I've enjoyed it immensely.
It's changed so much. I mean, the game has changed, as we know as fans, but the training for games, the technology for games. It's crazy. When you came up and guys before you, talk a little bit about how, I mean, you came up, you've been with some really forward-thinking organizations and organizations that have been able to get the most out of the guys that they have. And you were one of those guys. There's some goofy stuff that goes on, though, hitting-wise and pitching-wise these days. And how do you kind of cut through the noise to find out what really works?
Yeah, I think it's a balance. Everything in moderation, right? And understanding why we're doing it. What are we getting out of this? I think the modern player today wants to know, why are you giving this to me? Instead of just back in the day, it was like, you do this, you go play, and that's what we do. And the coach kind of tells you. And today, with these players, you just need to have a good answer. And so with the organizations that I've been in with the past, there was some freedom to get creative in how you're going to prepare for the game. And the reason that is our game of baseball is almost impossible to recreate the game in practice.
Right.
In basketball, you can do that. In football, you can almost go full speed pads, soccer, whatever it is. Baseball, you just don't have that opportunity unless you're practicing with Paul Skeens throwing you, his repertoire in the offseason. And so if we understand that that's a reality, that's the truth, then we have to figure out creative ways to create those environments to get as close as we can. And if we say that because the game has evolved so much and pitching is very difficult, if we just say, like, we'll just do it how it's always been and you'll be fine and adjust, I think we're just missing a little bit of some meat on the bone there. And so, trying to train environments where it's a challenge and then give the confidence environments where it's like you're just grooving your swing, and then working that and having an ideology where you embrace the challenge to get closer to the game, to give you some better feedback of where you are with your swing. That's kind of the process of which I think is the most conducive to success right now.
All of these hitters are here because they have dominated at every stage of their life, little league, high school, college, minors, to get to the big leagues. But you always have to continue to improve. They've never faced, big league level pitching when you get here. Where do you stand on being true to yourself, but also trying to make adjustments that can be difficult to adapt to at this level? I feel like that's always the conundrum for a major league hitter.
Yeah, I think adjustments is definitely a word that gets overused a lot, but I mean, it is a game of adjustments. And I guess what I mean by that is, like, we don't always have to overhaul our entire swing. It's like, that's kind of the theory right now is like, I'm not going good, let me just break it down and build it back up. And that's not always the case. The way that I go about it, that I like to do, is I just kind of go through the Rolodex of your career. Like, when you were really good, what are the things that you've done? Because everybody has these stretches where you're really good. And typically when you're really good, you're pretty sound in your decision-making and your swing flaws and your process. And so what happens along the way that kind of deteriorates that is a lot of things. That's why the big league is really hard. Is it the fact that you got jammed? Is it the fact that you're getting a little bit older? Is it the fact that you're not used to the league? Everybody's at a different part in their career. And that's when those adjustments need to be made. And how do we get to the most efficient player possible day in and day out? And that's just about working on the right things. And and slowing it down and breaking it down so you have an idea where you're at. Not so much the, hey, let's tear it all down and make adjustments. Because like you said, Manny Machado, Xander Bogaerts, these guys have been in the league forever. Nick Castellanos, they know what it takes to be successful. I'm just trying to help them see some things that maybe they're going about in their process to just be a good hitter. Hey, here's maybe where you're missing a part. Like you're not recognizing this in your swing that you've already done in the past.
Man, as talking to Strven Souza Jr. here, Padres hitting coach, and as a little league coach of 2 teams and little kids, you have to cut through a lot of noise. I mean, there's a lot of every day I look on Instagram, there's a new gadget, and some of this is going to do this, and this is going to this bat, and I'm like, I actually have a bat that's a rope, the rope bat. My kids love it. They love hitting with it because it's fun and changes things up. You have to keep these guys a little bit entertained as well in what they're doing, or it just becomes a grind. I saw the pitchers throw into a gong the other day, which I thought was fantastic.
Yeah.
I thought it was great. And, at the end of the day, do you try to, for you, like when you play, was it like, man, I've been working my tail off and I'm with these organizations that do things the right way, but I got to just see the ball and hit the ball hard. That's really kind of like you have to break it down every time you go up there.
Yeah, I think that's a very important concept to note is like, we do all these things that I'm talking about in the cage, and then you go in the game and you have to simplify. You have to be able to cut the line when you leave the cage and then go play and understand that trust my work that I've put in there. I've done the foundational stuff. Don't try and go practice in the game, which is what I think a lot of young players end up doing. They end up taking their cage work into the game and say, well, I want to be perfect with my moves.
Yep.
So to go back to your earlier sentiment about the young kids, working on those things, we are all young kids playing this game.
Yeah.
When we're playing the freest out here, when the boys are playing the freest, you're a kid, you're having fun. So I think keeping the novelty of how your work is and falling in love with the process and being able to take a rope bat and just experiment it, figure out what you feel in here. And maybe it's something that benefits you in the future. And then understand that there's some principles in hitting that are probably some non-negotiables that people are trying to push back on right now in modern hitting.
Yeah.
But no matter what, you can still break down some of the best hitters in the game. Those principles are pretty solid.
Yeah, that's such a good point. And it's the league is such a weird, sometimes reactionary league. So, of course, David Popkins, right? Oh, and he got into Toronto and he's training bat speed. And so what does everybody say? We need a guy like David Popkins that's going to get in there and train bat speed next year. And every year it's something, everyone's throwing a sweeper, so everyone's going to throw a sweeper.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy how this game goes. How do you, as a hitting coach, appreciate that, right? That people are interested and they know, but also like we got to stick to what we know and what we do best.
Yeah, I think conviction in your principles is key. And it's a copycat league in general, right? Like you're just trying to stay ahead of the curve and who's coming up with a creative idea. The difficult thing is navigating is that really why they had success was because they trained bat speed, or is it because Vladimir Guerrero is a really good player, George Springer is a really good player, Addison Barger is extremely strong, Bichette is unbelievable. Like they have a talented roster.
And it all kind of came together too.
100%. Now,
but the processes seem to work for them. At least it's an easy way for us in the media, the fans to go, that's the key, right?
For sure.
Right.
If I just in that specific case, I think what they did really well, better than a lot of teams, was game planning. I think the way that they attacked, you look at that World Series and the way that they took at bats off of Blake Snell and Yamamoto and Glasnow is like, they were matching what the Dodgers do, right? And that's what you have to do in the playoffs, and that's what we're going to strive to do is like match that game planning to where you're going to have to beat us because we know what you're trying to do to us, and we're going to wear you down. And that's why that was one of the best series, in a while, was because of that. They were just so prepared for the game plan. I don't think it was just the bat speed.
Yeah,
Steven, really great stuff. We got to take a timeout. I'll just say, and I hope this sounds as a compliment, you sound older and wiser than your actual age. I mean, you're not much older than some of these guys already out here, but love your perspective. Thank you so much for sharing some of it with us.
I appreciate it. Yeah, my hair would say that probably matches a little bit of wisdom because it's running out, but, I'm just trying to help as much as I can.
Fine.
Get to wear a lid every day.
That's exactly right. Just hide it. So appreciate you guys having me.
Strven Souza Jr. We'll take one quick timeout. We'll come back. Final segment of Bennett Woods. Coming up next, I told Buddy Black might sit down with us here coming up in just a couple of minutes here on 97.3 The Fan. Don't go away.
He just here. I'll show you a little. Just a little.
Please don't.
Just a little bit. What hurts on you?
Nothing at all.
A little bit.
Not that now.
So let's say
whatever you're about to touch is the only thing.
Let's say
It's gonna hurt.
Right?
All right, yeah.
Okay.
Pretend your knee hurts.
Pretend your knee.
It's going to in a second.
Right here.
Oh, that is not pleasant.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
All right, got a lot of business here in our last few minutes. First of all, we got to qualify someone for our weekly grand prize drawing. We got Guns N' Roses tickets at Snapdragon Stadium on September 2nd. Not playing Take on Woods this week, which is brought to you by Bay Alarm, security and fire alarms for every business. We got you. Instead, a quick question. If you'll remember from earlier in the show, Mason Miller was on, and then afterwards, Woodsy suggested a song by Audio Slave that he thought would be a perfect walk-in song for Mason Miller. If you remember the name of that song, call now 833-288-0973. Tell Kyle, and we'll get you into the drawing for the weekly prize for the Guns N' Roses tickets. We also have Buddy Black sitting here. He's going to join us right after our last check of traffic on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center. Injured? Demand justice. Demand Jurowitz. 855GetRoss.com. Here's Kelly Danick.
Just a few things wrapping up our morning drive here. Crash and clearing stage on the 43rd Street off-ramp, northbound 805. Further north on the 805, right before Balboa, there is a collision involving a couple of vehicles. They're in the center divide. Southbound 805 got a stalled vehicle right before La Jolla Village Drive in the center divide. Accident involving a motorcycle, East County, westbound 8, right before Greenfields, over the right shoulder. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben & Wood, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
And joining us right now, special advisor to the general manager of the San Diego Padres, new title, former Padres and Rockies manager, Bud Black, with us here on 97.3 The Fan. Buddy, it's good to see you. Tier 1 again.
Good to see you guys. It's great. Little bummed, no Take on Woods.
I know it's your favorite segment.
I
it's hard
love
to
that.
do out here.
And I play at home, and God,
I know, man. I know. It's hard out here. I have to run all the way down there to get out of the earshot so I don't hear the questions, and then they got to text me to run back, and it's a lot
of running for you.
It's a lot of running for me. It's a lot of running. And logistically, it just doesn't line up. But man, thanks for joining us. How's it feel to be back here?
It feels really good. It's been a good few weeks here, acclimated. The people have been great. Coming back, and as you guys know, I know a lot of people here in the organization, but obviously there's some new folks here that I'm getting to know, and guys, so far so good. It's been a good camp, and in this role, it's been something for me to look forward to. Quite a bit different than being in uniform.
Sure.
But here again, I just got done talking to Randy Knorr. Talked to Craig just a little bit earlier. Talking to guys. Either on the coaching staff or AJ and Josh. It's good stuff.
How did AJ kind of define your role, if there even is a definition, when he brought you in?
Well, it formulated, over the summer and then into the fall. And, we talked about, what I could potentially bring. And he, basically boiled it down to what he thought was important for him. And that was, evaluations. let me know what you think of our players. A lot of it in the minor leagues, right? Those 165 guys are going to start, their seasons, the first part of April, get to know our guys. So I've been spending a lot of time back, on the lower fields, looking at, the minor league players and also up here, there's 70 guys in major league camp. There'll be some guys that go to the minor leagues, but, that was, a focal point of him to know our players. And also, again, to, maybe potentially go out to the amateur draft and see some players as well. But, be around the big league team too and assist him with, what's going on in the, in the American League and National League and, my take on major league players as well that, might become available as the season moves on.
Now, being out here, it's a different role for you, but there's got to be a lot less pressure, right? Out here,
his hair is not white anymore. It's gone back to its natural color again.
I'm gonna give you my 2 cents, and then I'm free to go.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's right. Here's my opinion. Here you go. I'm out.
Take it or leave it.
Yeah.
You getting to play any golf while you're out here?
Haven't played. Coming off a hip situation.
Yeah.
A hip replacement. So, but hopefully in a couple months I'll be out there. But I spent a lot of time at the park, which is great.
Yeah.
So I haven't been out, but hopefully it sounds like you guys might not be able to get out here in the next couple of days.
No,
but,
we're working, man.
Yeah.
We're just working, giving our 2
You're
cents.
the hardest working men in show business.
That's right.
You and James Brown.
Don't forget it.
You show Craig Stammen how to use the office or anything, like
Yeah.
any secrets.
He's doing fine. He's doing fine. He's got a good, as you guys know, he's got a very nice way about him that's
he does
conducive to leading.
We are at the end of our program already.
That was very fast.
quick. I wish we had more time, but
thank you, buddy.
You're always welcome. It's tier 1. You can join us at any time. You can play Take on Woods if I've got a game for you at any time you want. So,
guys, it's good to see you. You guys look great. We're happy. I think in 3 days you'll get a little bit of sun.
Yes,
your faces will be a little maybe a little different shade.
I need that Buddy Black tan.
Who isn't happy here at spring
That's
training?
right.
This is like Disneyland for baseball fans. Buddy Black, a special advisor to AJ Preller, and that does it for our first show. I'm glad we got 2 more of these because we got a lot more players we're going to be talking to. But today was fantastic. Thank you for joining us. We will be back tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Pacific time with more Ben and Woods live from Peoria, Arizona on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. Have a great rest of your day, everybody.
Padres, Mariners.